with a moat that's a little bit too low.
That's good. All right, and we should be kicking off live again. So, and it looks like everything is better now.
Yeah.
it just it just wanted a nice healthy reboot. Lord knows why it just did. So
Celebratory reboot dance.
all right, so let's go ahead and get started. We've kept our viewers waiting long enough, and let's talk about a little bit about what happened last time, and then I'm going to jump into our sponsors. And then also we're going to have a quick introduction of the different players. So I'll start, actually let's switch that up. I'll do the sponsors first. So a big shout out, thank you to, of course, always Dragon Crafting Guild. We gave away one of these dice trays last week, and that's going out to Lord Forth. And congratulations again to him. We've given a few of those things out. They are amazing. I always say it, Dragon Crafting Guild, every player's best friend. In the hands of the DM, every player's worst enemy. Guaranteed to roll you more d20s. Not true at all, but I just say it. Then also we have Frederica Draws, who's done all the fantastic artwork for our stream. And she is super talented. Check her out on Instagram, Frederica Draws. And then, of course, all of our partners that help us out. So we have everyone from J. Scott, Lord Gasumba, who is always a great help to the channel. Of course, we have also Christoph, who runs Greyhawk Online and the Orth Journal, and many, many others that are good sort of friends to us in the community, Fable42 and Chris and lots of others. So enough of that. Just thank you to all of you. And now let's jump straight into what happened last time.
All right, so in our last session, we started off
Thank you, Celtic Board.
morning with Gimbal going room to room, bringing us eggs and milk for breakfast, and getting various levels of reception to his lovely meal that he had prepared for us. And then he and Brim spoke a bit together. And then Millie went and spoke to Brett for a minute about their previous conversation before fleeing from the room.
Exactly.
And then Osler had let everyone know that Galen had come back to bring the things that he had promised to bring, so that they could make their journey to the moat house. So everyone collected their things and went downstairs, and he gave us a map that would guide us to the moat house, along with a potion that allows the imbiber to be more stealthy in shadow or darkness. And he also gave us medallions with the sword and staff crossed on them that are symbols of the guard in Hamlet. And various people either stashed them or put them on, depending on who it was. And then...
And whose idea was that?
That was Gimbel's. He likes to collect things.
So Gimbal, and I really want to. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I do want to get to gameplay. It's something I want us to be a little bit more intentional about. Is getting. Hey, Bloodwild, good to see you. Kieg, good to see you as well. What makes you interested in that? Thank you, Shane O'Mac. What makes you interested in that? The sort of accoutrement, the symbols. Why is that important to Gimbal?
I think it's just. At first it was just a matter of, hey, this is like I would say it's a point of connection. Just simply said, it's a point where he connected with someone else, whether it be a different race or a different person, or just it's something to connect him to them.
I like that. Okay, good. All right, let's continue on. What happened after that?
And then after the conversation with Galen had concluded, Osler basically wished us well on our adventure, said he hoped we came back, and if we did, he will have room and board prepared for us, including ale, milk for Brim, and whiskey. And so we gathered ourselves up and went along our merry way, and started off down the road to the moat house. And
where you had a friendly reception, right? I mean, it was just it's a nice stroll. Yeah, okay.
Nice day. It's fall. The leaves are changing. a little crispness in the air, and various people waved to us and said hello. And Brim actually noticed that they were receiving him a little more warmly than he had previously experienced. But he was still hiding his tusks until we had gotten completely out of town, and then he let himself relax a little bit. And then as we continued down the road, we had gotten a good distance, and then Brim turned to Gimbal and asked him if he was getting tired, because he is small and was having a hard time keeping up. And so Brim offered Gimbal a lift, basically, and let him ride on the mall.
Literally.
And yep. and then Gimbal looked ahead to see what he could see. He saw kind of a bend in the road and a slight incline. And as we got closer, he actually spotted an overturned wagon before anybody else did, because he had a better perspective from where he was.
So as always, fantastic. This is she is the journal analyst in all of my campaigns. She is fantastic. But I do like to get this perspective from others. Let's pause here. So as you're approaching the wagon, and I only want to spend maybe, yes, it is an Atari shirt. It's original old school Atari. This is not a reproduction. Thank you, Budwell. So. What were your thoughts as you approached the wagon, and then also sort of the interaction with this desperate man who identified himself as Gareth and his experience? I'm asking someone besides Millie.
I mean, at least Brim felt uncomfortable in a sense, felt sorry for the man because he had not only lost his daughter and also his wife, as well as his clothing and everything he owned. And since he was a merchant of, I want to say tobacco, because we smelled tobacco in the air.
Keolandish
tobacco is what he told you. That's right.
Keolandish.
It'll all be in the notes. I'm about to post them tomorrow, so it'll be there.
So you had this, and I do want to kind of move it around so we can get to the game. But by the way, good to see Pathos69. Thank D&D player 888. Always a pleasure, my friend. And I thought I saw one more that I hadn't seen before. Maybe not. Anyway, so thank you, everybody. All right, so he tells you that he has been accosted by a group which sounds remarkably similar to those that you encountered on the path to Kron when you protected that shipment. And he tells you that both his wife and his child have been abducted. You find clues which suggest the veracity of his story. And so you pursue, particularly Uthar of all of you. By the way, Uthar is not with us tonight. So you see his remarkable visage up on Twitch. But he actually had some commitments that prevented him from being here tonight. We have basically a one player missing rule here at Blue Box. That as long as we have all but one player, we'll continue. If we're missing two players for some reason, we won't. And that can depend, as I said to some of the folks on the pre-stream, can depend on the night. So if it's something where, let's just say Gimbal, for example, is critical to the story, then Gimbal missing could be a reason that we'll skip. But we try to be as consistent as we can be, not just for the cadence of the story and for the players, but also for the fans. We appreciate all of you that take the time to, block out schedules and be here with us each time we're scheduled to do it. So we take it very seriously that we try to be consistent with that. And so as long as it's possible, we'll keep going even without one. So Uthar in particular, Brim was very, very distraught by this, but as was Uthar. Suddenly the urgency picked up. So you went to the moat house. When you reached the moat house, you found that it was in fact occupied. You saw men in red cloaks, matching the Red Lord's description that you had heard of this party, this villainous group, which had purportedly taken the old moat house. And this is the moat house from the original Hamlet series. And I believe, Rory, you said you kind of had this in your head last week. I'm actually going to put up not the newer sort of actual one, but I just love this image, and I'll show it to our fans here, of the original Hamlet moat house. So this thing was already in ruins 23 years ago, and so 40 years ago, and now it has been reoccupied. It is still in ruins, but has a lot of structure to it, still quite a formidable structure. And you find these men all about the battlements, and so then you begin this effort to to get inside. You wait till dark. There's some arguing back and forth, and then you begin your foray off the right side of the structure. So I'll go ahead and show before we get into the actual activity. I'll show kind of here. So you found this opening. So if you're looking at it on our screen there, here's the entire structure of the moat house. The moat is down here. There's a bridge. You do see, your eyes are not misleading you. There is a gnome here all by himself for whatever reason, and he's very, very small, which we'll talk about in a second. Muy pequeño. And then you have this entry, which was on the right side of the structure. I'll pull it out here so you can see a little bit better, that you made your way through. There was a combat that ensued. It was quite a dramatic combat. You had Brim, the half-ogre, scale the wall. He crushed a man atop this wall, thrust him over. He's actually laying on the ground here now, plopped down right beside Gimbal. You had an engagement with Uthar and with Lilith and with Ashrin, your cleric, inside here, killing a couple men. But then you saw more coming down from the battlements. You saw additional, so coming back out here, you saw one that popped out of this door here. You can see there are two down here. So if you're looking, there's one there, and there's actually one coming around this corner. And then there are the two which are up front here. And Gimbal, tell us why these two are up here in the front, away from all the action.
Well, you see, we all had a plan, and I stuck to the plan. I stuck to the plan. And I lured them out with some ventriloquism and ghostly sounds.
You did, and so they're following these strange sounds which were cast under the bridge at the clever deception of Gimbal. And so as we resume the combat, the party's in the midst of assaulting this moat house. I'll explain again kind of where everything is at, and trying to find both what the origins of this strange group are, coupled with where are the wife and child of Gareth, the merchant on the road, who told you his horrible tale. Now, lastly, before we get started, I'll reference again our giveaway tonight. So we are going to be giving away this guy. This is not your regular size mini, so let me hold up a regular miniature here next to him. You can see how big this guy is. This is the incredible frog demon, the froghemoth. We're going to give this guy away on stream tonight. So we'll put up the option that's not set up yet, but you'll have the mini giveaway option here in a little bit, and we'll give him away on stream. So without any further ado, I'm going to get the ambiance set, get the lighting, because it is nighttime. So I'll set the nighttime lighting, get the music up, and while I'm doing that, let's go around, introduce all the players, your class, level, race, anything else you'd like us to know about the players, and we're going to start with Millie.
All right. I am Millie, and I am a level 2 half-elven swashbuckler. And last week in the fight, I stuck my dagger through a man's neck.
You did, and quite the glorious move. Nice critical hit. All right, let's go to Brim.
Hello, my name is Brimstone. I am a 7.5 foot tall gray half-ogre. I am a level 2 fighter, and last session I crushed a man from the battlements. And I'm ready for more.
Well done, well done. And yes, it is a big money, and yes, I'm also aware that that's an oxymoron. All right, let's go to Lilith.
My character's name is Lilith. She's a level 2 druid, wild elf Greyhawk. Druid. And I don't know, last session, what did she do? She came inside and helped Uthar. I think that was it.
She did, and she's got an owl skull around her neck.
Oh yes, yeah.
She likes to collect trinkets.
Oh yes, yeah. odd trinkets. Give them away as well.
All right, and so last and also least, Gimbal.
So I'm Gimbal. I am a wizard illusionist, level 2 also, and I'm a gnome. And I am now currently 1.5 foot tall, and curious to know if the grass is my height or taller than me.
Very good question. All right, and so from there we will begin. As I describe the scene, we're going to roll initiative in just a second. But again, coming back out to this wider cam, if you can look at your, so you have Brim is here. And Brim, of course, you'll recall, he came running around these ruins. As he did, there was a man that was facing him. As Brim ran him down, screaming through this area, the man he panicked. He failed his morale check, and he booked it. You have not seen him. He disappeared off over the wall. You have the two up front here that I referenced a moment ago that are distracted by Gimbal. Gimbal is right here, and they do not see him yet, and I'm going to explain the height of the grass to you in a second. Then you have also Lilith and Asherin and Uthar who are here, and you can see there are two soldiers, one that comes from here, you can kind of see in the light, and then one that comes from here. You can kind of see the light, and it'll be a little easier to see from the wide cam. So they are here and here. And so those two are rushing forward. And with that, we are going to roll for initiative. Party initiative D6. I don't remember who rolled last time, so let's just go ahead and reset from the beginning, and let's go back to Millie. Roll for initiative for us.
Let's see. I'll do this one. That's a 2.
That is a 2, and on the DM's die we have a 4. So I have initiative. Coming back here to the close, and let me pull this up a little bit better. All right. So Uthar, as he steps forward, you see this soldier comes rushing forward. Intruders! Intruders! He's yelling as he sprints forward. This one is doing the same. He comes the same direction, so both of them are closing on Uthar, and that's about all the distance they can cover with their round. The two up front, are looking at the bridge, and one peers underneath, and I'm going to make a roll here. He says, "Oh, I see it!" And he actually leaps underneath the bridge. That's a 1 on his perception check. So the other one runs to see what's going on. At that same moment, Brim, you see the door above you open, and you see another soldier come out with a bow atop the battlement, and his eyes immediately lock with yours. He trains his bow and fires a shot. And I have your armor class here. Hang on. That is a hit. And he only gets 1 based on the movement he had previously. You take 3 points of damage. Thunk! An arrow sticks in your shoulder. Now we go to the party. And so I'm going to start off with you, Gimbal. Let me switch the cam up here to where you're at. And let's see what the brilliant plan of our gnome actually is. So the two soldiers, you can't actually see them now here. I'll put this one here. They're both here by the edge of the bridge. Gimbal, what are you doing?
How far am I from?
You're about 70 feet or so.
From that individual that I can see?
Yes.
Okay.
So like it'd be for normally it would be like a full round plus of sprint, but when you're 1.5 feet tall, and by the way, yes. So the grass here, it's not quite 1.5 feet tall, but it's a good, in some places 8 inches, in some places it's 1 foot tall. So at worst, your hat sticks out of the grass. If you hunker down a little bit, you're actually able to stay fairly submerged beneath the grass.
Okay. And remind me, am I able to use a sprint action?
Yes, you are.
Distance?
Yeah, but that will take your whole round.
And am I able to do that while I stealth, or do I have to slow down my speed?
Yeah, no. If you sprint, you have no stealth.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured. So I will use how far am I from that first side of the bridge?
So that's you're about 50 feet, 52 feet. It's about a 15-foot wide bridge.
Okay, so it would take a sprint action to get to that side of it.
Correct.
First side. Okay.
Correct.
So I will get to the first side and just kind of hide behind it to some degree, so I can still see around it, considering that the grass is covering me also.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Okay.
Turn up your
Is
mic.
this
Just
better?
try it
I
again.
mean, you sound fine to me. I'm just saying the chat is saying
The
that
chat?
they're having a hard time hearing him.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for letting us know. We always appreciate that on the chat. I'm going to crank that up just a little bit for you guys, and that should help.
They're saying I'm quiet too, so.
Okay,
Okay.
so that should help some. Thank you for letting us know.
Thanks, guys.
So for stealth, 27.
Okay, and so again, sometimes I let you roll those, sometimes I roll them. This,
Oh. Was that for
Jordan said music's too loud.
well, I turned it down, so it should be okay now. So depending on the situation, like I'll let you roll sometimes if it's going to be pretty obvious if you fail, right? So like if you make a noise and these guards see you, you're going to know that. So that's why I let you roll that stealth.
Okay.
If there's other situations where you might not know if you were as quiet as you think you were, that's where I roll those. And I do have all those house rules typed up. I'm going to send those to you. All right, so you make it to the opposite side of the bridge here. Kind of tucked between the bridge and the trees, and they don't see her. You can hear the men talking. Is there anything else you want to do?
No, I think that's everything I can do.
Well, you can talk. You can throw a rock. You can.
No, that'll be it for now.
Okay. All right. Let's come back here and let's go to Brim. So Brim, you are standing here between these ruins. You see Millie is atop the battlements here, and you see this man here with an arrow trained on you. He just stuck you right in the shoulder.
Oh, I'm going straight for him.
And I'd like to try and go as far as I could to just jump up and get right in his face, and if I can attack, which I doubt it.
Okay, so no, in fact, and a normal character would not even be able to do this much, but at your size and height, you move pretty quickly. You can actually grab that edge, but I'm going to have you go ahead and make a climb check.
Okay. Oof, that's going to be a 19 for climb.
All right, so Brim, you still kind of holding your maul in one hand, you leap up just sort of with your closed fist on one side, your open hand on the other. You grab the edge of the battlement, and you see the guard. He starts scrabbling back. He drops his bow and tries to pull his blade. So we will resolve that next round. Now we go to Uthar. Uthar charges forward. Where have you kept her, you fiends? And he engages in combat. And that is a hit for Uthar. Well done, sir. So his blade bites into the first one that he attacks. And oh my goodness, that is an excellent attack for him. He slices deeply into the arm. You can see from where you're standing, Lilith, that the guard, or the soldier, the brigand rather, staggers back. Blood spurting from his wound. The second one is closing on Uthar, and we're going to go to you, Lilith. What do you do?
I will use my sling
All right, go ahead and roll to hit.
at the one that Uthar is engaged with.
Okay.
Was there two people there, you said?
Yeah, there's two.
Okay.
You can see them on. So there's two actually swordsmen that are right on top of him.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I'll go after. Oh, nat 20.
A nat 20. Okay. Well done. All right, so now you're going to roll for your confirmation. So go ahead and roll for confirmation.
18.
That is a confirmed crit. Oh my God. Our first crit already. Okay, so now what I need to do is roll percentile dice so I can consult this handy dandy chart.
51.
51. Okay. And I'm going to the...
What do you see?
No. What's happening?
And we're going to... 51... Ooh, ouch. All right, roll damage for me.
Hang on 1 second. I think.
Ouch. Oh my gosh. All right.
What are you using?
Sling. Yeah, I got it. 3 plus 3.
No, so that would be it. However, so as you didn't necessarily aim this way, but you can tell from his reaction that he is not wearing a codpiece. Whoog! Your stone gets him right in the stones. He cries out, doubles over. You actually see he immediately starts vomiting blood as he falls to the ground. He is not only close to dead. You had +8 hits from that critical, but he is also stunned for 2 rounds. He is doing nothing for a bit of time here. He is you have walloped. All right, Millie. So you see all of this happening before you as you're running along the battlements.
Right.
The Nutcracker. As you're running along the battlements, you see Brim leaping up on the opposite battlement. You hear the sounds of combat. You can even see from your vantage point these 2 guards off in the front. Hey, thank you very much, Trey West, for the follow, that have engaged with Gimbal. What do you do?
I want to use I'm guessing my action and my movement just to get to the other end of the wall, and I'm actually going to jump across the gap and try to reach for Brim to get myself across.
Oh, okay. So I love the daring, but so let me tell you here. You're talking about that's a big gap. It might be hard to see. That's about 20. That's about 20 feet.
I know.
Okay. All right. And there are spikes here at the bottom. You see those?
Yeah.
All right. All the DM warnings have been given. So go ahead and you're going to make your acrobatics roll, correct?
Yes, I am making an acrobatics check. And I'm gonna roll it.
No kids for him, Pat.
I'll never let go.
That is a 23.
23. All right. Unfortunately, no one actually can see this because no one's actually looking at Lilith or at Millie. So this is a feat of daring all by herself. But you sprint toward the edge, and with an incredible leap, you push off right from the very edge. You sail over the wooden spikes below, and you grip right to the edge of that opposite side with your hands in an absolutely incredible feat of athletics and reach the other side. If no one saw, did it really happen? Total Matrix style. We don't do a lot of anachronism, but I like that one. All right, so that ends that round. Let's go to initiative. And we're going to rotate now. Initiative goes to Gimbal. Ooh, DM has a 6. Not looking good for you, sir. All right.
Oh, no.
All right. So the guard standing in front of Brim, he has no choice. This is survival that he's trying to accomplish here. So we'll switch over here. So he actually swings at you with a long sword. He's just dropped his bow. And miss. That is a hit. My dice are rolling a bit better today. But he barely nicks you. So 1 point of damage. He just slices across the outside of your arm. This won't even contribute a nice scar to your collection. So you're somewhat disappointed from that perspective. Then we go back to Uthar and the 2 that are on him. And I'm going to roll for them. Hang on. And let's see here. Aim that down just a bit. And Uthar. The first one attacks him. And that is a hit. 'Tis but a scratch. And that is all right. So the first one hits him, but he's able to get his shield up to block the blow of the second one. And Uthar, that's a pretty good hit he takes. So Lilith, you see Uthar grunt in pain as he's struck right across the right shoulder for a pretty good shot of damage. Then we go to the 2 up front. And hey, there's nothing here! All of a sudden, Rory, Gimbal, you see these 2, they come walking back out from underneath the bridge, and they're scanning the area. So I'm going to make a couple rolls, and I'd like you to make another stealth check, please. Okay, and this next one. All right. What's your roll?
13.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I mean, look, again, let's be realistic here, right? You're a gnome. It's dark. You're now a gnome that's reduced himself. You're hiding by the edge of a bridge. A 13 is plenty good enough. You know, unless I'm nat 20ing on a perception, you are very, very hard to see. So they're just scanning around, but they do start advancing. Looking through the brush. This one kind of looking more toward the bridge. He's peering over to see if there's something on the bridge here. This one kind of looking along the castle walls. And that will conclude their action. Now we go to the party. We're going to start with you, Brim. You have this bandit right in front of you, his eyes wide with fear, and you have just enough room to sling your maul, but you can hear Millie scrabbling up behind you.
And when I was running up, did I see a sentry on top of this tower?
You did not.
Okay. I will would you allow me to help Millie up and then swing, or one or the other?
I think so. Look, you see here coming up, if you want to, because you swing your maul with two hands. I'll say, like, if you want to just kind of thrust your left foot up, give her something to grab, and then yank it up, that would be a reasonable action that you could take to assist her getting up. So based on that, but this is going to be really tight quarters here. So as Millie gets up, and this is all simultaneous action, of course, as Millie leaps up, it is very hard. Whoops, Brim takes a tumble. You can see how hard it is, as it is really, really tight atop that. You've now got three, really 4.5 human beings with Brim atop this parapet. So there's not really room to swing a maul or a sword without hitting each other.
Because I know like how he fights, could I just like be down low while I like let him strike above me?
Yeah. Okay. So you can crouch down. It's still dangerous, but you can do that.
I'll crouch down while he takes his attack.
I mean, I can still go hand to hand, but I'll swing that maul.
All right. Roll to hit.
Oh no!
Oh no! Don't tell me you rolled a 1. With Millie right there, you rolled a 1? Oh! All right, please roll again. It could just be a miss. Could be not too much.
Big number.
The second one would have been a 19.
A 19. Okay, and hang on, let me just do it quick because I did warn. Okay, yeah, Millie, you feel the maul just, it grazes across the top of your head. It brushes your hair as it comes across. Now we go to you.
Alright, so I'm gonna kind of stay in this crouch.
Another wayward bolt.
And just kind of like jab at him with my rapier and my dagger rather than like try to swing them.
All right, so that's I think, I'm going to give you the full to hit attack on the dagger. With the rapier, again, you're constricted. You've got bolts, his mask next to you. You're crouched down. So you're going to take that rapier attack at a -2.
At a -2, okay. So rapier's first as usual.
The wayward maul.
That's just a 12, so that misses, I guess.
Just misses, yeah. Scrapes along his armor.
Dagger is a 18.
18, okay. You do find, you kind of plunge your dagger right into his thigh where you're kneeled down. Roll damage.
Alright, so that's
Oh!
D4. That's 6 points of damage.
Ooh, ouch. Okay, you sink that sucker to the bone. That is a deep dagger blow. Now we're going to come back to Lilith. Lilith, what are you going to do?
You're switching camera. There we go. I'll go for the other guy that's there. That just hit Sorry.
Yeah, okay, so you have room. And I'm going to say, yeah, that's not too far to move. You can still get an attack. So you advance. He's literally on the ground, clutching his growing. All right, so
I'm gonna just look down at him, but I want to attack the other guy.
All right,
He's down for a little bit, right?
Yeah, he is, but again, so you also want to be careful about and do what you want. I give you the round sometimes I won't. You don't want to metagame that like, okay, Lilith doesn't know he's down for 2 rounds, right? Lilith just knows this guy is whacked hard right in the privies and he's on the ground retching up. Now you could reasonably assume he's down for a while, but don't take the rounds as I can clock this in my head. Make sense?
Okay.
But
Lilith will finish him off.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to influence you. You do whatever you want to do, like that. Okay. All right. Go ahead. So all you're going to do on this one, you're just going to roll. As long as you don't roll a 1, just go ahead and make the roll.
17.
Yeah. All right. I mean, and what are you using? Your staff?
My staff. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't even need you to tell me how this looks. I'll tell you how this looks. All right, so he's leaned over. I mean, he can't even begin to contemplate your approach as he's retching violently on the ground. And you just take your staff and you plummet it right down the back of his neck. You feel his neck snap and he goes silent. That was a pretty brutal kill. Between those 2 things, that's a nasty druid. All right, so Uthar attacks. Whoosh, he swings, bang! It smacks up against the shield of the bandit and does nothing. Asherin runs forward, and as she does so, she goes to lay hands, but she's covered too much territory, so that's going to have to wait till next round. And we go to initiative. So Millie lost. Now we're going to roll. No, Gimbal lost. Sorry. Now we're going to roll to Lilith. And
Come on.
oh, this time DM has a 1.
4.
Yeah!
You have it. And I don't know if you saw that Lord Forth said social distancing. It works for the virus and for malls.
Did I go that round?
Oh, did you? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you did not. All right, Gimbal, let's come back to you. Thank you. And you guys never hesitate to catch me on that. So you're hiding right here in the grass, and you see them searching around. What do you do?
Is it within 10 feet that I can move towards the keep or move towards the building? I want to cast color spray on the 2 of them.
Oh yeah, I mean they're yeah. I don't know how this looks to you on the screen, but yeah, they're both literally like these. You could hear the creak of their armor. They're probably 8 to 9 feet away from you. They don't see you. You're so tiny. For anybody that missed it, this gnome has cast reduce on himself, so he's literally like 1.5 feet tall, hiding in the grass. They have no concept of where you are.
Okay. So he'll get his hands going, and almost like he's going to cast like ghost sounds or something. He'll just kind of mutter, kind of soft but loud enough for them to hear, "It's not the door that you should be scared of." And cast color spray on them.
Okay, so Gimbal, as you cast color spray, remind all of our viewers what that spell does.
A vivid cone of clashing colors springs forth from your hand, causing creatures to become stunned, perhaps also blind, and possibly knocking them unconscious. Each creature within the cone is affected according to its HD. So I don't know how high I need to go, but 2 HD or less, the creature is unconscious, blind, and stunned for 2d4 rounds, then blinded and stunned for 1d4 rounds, and then stunned for 1 round.
Right. And there is no DC save on color spray, right? So as long as they're under the level. So I just wanted you to read that because it's an exceptionally powerful spell. So before I tell you what happened, thank you so much to Redbeard. We appreciate the gift of the sub. Lord Forth, good to see you. And again, congratulations on the dice tray. Okay, so Redbeard, as you cast your spell, a coruscating palette of light emanates from your hands. You see both of them, they kind of stand up, their eyes go wide, they wobble a moment, and they both fall over unconscious into the grass.
Hey.
So being I just cast a spell there, and I haven't moved, it sounded like I'm within 10 feet of them. Can I move up to them for next round?
You can begin to advance, yes. And so like you can take whatever action you want to against them next round. Make sure you remember to remove the gold from your inventory for your components, for your spell. Yep. And yeah, well done, sir. Very nice. All right, now, so initiative, and that was lost. So we go to the enemies. The first one attacking...
We
won that.
won.
Oh, you won. That's right. I won last time. Okay, sorry. Thank you so much. All right. I'm just seeing if you guys are paying attention.
Yeah.
We are.
All right. So let's come back over here to the very tight grip melee between Brim and Millie and this guard here on the parapet. So up here, and we're gonna go to Millie first this time.
Okay.
Millie, your dagger, you're kind of pulling it out of the meat of his thigh.
I'm gonna try the same thing again. Just jab him with both, and I'll take the -2 on the rapier again.
Okay, go ahead.
That is a 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the rapier again, it's hard. You're actually jostled by the tree trunk thigh of Brim next to you as you try to move that right hand with your rapier.
And the dagger is a 16.
And again, that nasty dagger, you plunge it in.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll damage on that.
6 again.
Okay, why don't you tell me what that looks like?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Brim.
This time, when she pulls the dagger out and then just kind of flips it backwards in her hand and swipes it across his femoral artery and just watches him as he bleeds out.
Oh! You see, like he is. You can read this in his eyes. He is equal parts surprised that he is dying, but more surprised that he is not dying at the hand of this massive half ogre that stands over the top of him with a maul. And he tumbles off the edge of the parapet, not Brim, this guy, and falls right next to the stables of the oxen and horses. Brim, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna look for the next fresh blood.
All right, so as you turn and look around, you don't see anything except for you can see two that have just fallen in the grass here in front, where Gimbal's at, right here. And you can see there is one still standing with Uthar.
Well, I think I'll head for the new wooden structure, as far as I can get towards that.
All right, so you kind of slide and leap, not very difficult for you at all, toward the structure. And as you begin moving, let me kind of move here so you can see, you actually see the door to this structure. It opens, and a mailed head peers out, and then the door closes as you're advancing. All right, now we will go to Lilith.
Lilith will attack the guy that's right in front of her with her staff.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it? What was the roll?
A 6.
A 6. All right. Yeah. Bang! It hammers off of his shield. Uthar attacks. And Uthar, man, not doing too well. He swings and the man ducks under, clashes away with his sword. Let's come back to Gimbal now.
So Gimbal is going to take a look at what weapons are they carrying?
They both have kind of crude long swords, and one of them has a bow strapped over his back.
I'm okay if this takes 2 rounds. He wants to align their hands
Okay.
and then cast burning hands on their hands, specifically their hands.
Oh wait. Okay. So I want you to describe for me exactly what you're doing, so I have a proper mental picture of this.
So this little 1.5-foot gnome will do what he can to basically take the swords. Well, I don't care if their swords are in their hands, I suppose. But line their hands up, because all he's wanting to do is cast burning hands on their hands, specifically to basically blister their hands so that they are unable to use their weapons.
So
if you can go ahead and
I've
pull the hands out.
no, I understand. I understood it the first time. I just wanted to hear it again. So I've played this game, as I've told you, for 40 years. I have never seen someone cast burning hands to burn hands. Okay. No. So look. Yeah. I mean, I think so. You were already moving over toward them. You get closer. They've kind of collapsed. You're very small, so it's very hard for you. I'm gonna have to have you make a strength check to kind of pull these hands out from underneath and get them lined up. Roll d20. Add your strength.
That's
I feel like we're just turning into a torture group.
Definitely sounds like that.
Gosh, guys.
So my strength, if I'm looking at this right, is so plus 0 is the mod, so
Yeah.
I got a 16.
A 16. Okay. It takes some effort, but this round you're able to. You kind of pull all 4 hands into proximity, kind of laying out in front of their bodies like this. And that will be the end of your round. And I think everybody went this round except for Ashrin.
Ashrin, yeah.
Yeah, except Ashrin. She lays hands on Uthar. And Lilith, you see a warm glow surrounds Uthar. And he receives healing from the hands. Now we go to initiative.
It's me again, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because you won.
DM has a 5.
1.
All right. So the remaining guard attacks Uthar. This time Uthar is able to block the blow away, and I believe that is all of the remaining and conscious and still betesticled enemies that exist in the party. So, let's go back to Uthar. He attacks. And man, he is having a hard time. Again, clashes up the armor. Heronius, aid me! He cries out. We'll go to you, Lilith.
I'll also attack with my staff again.
Okay.
11?
11. Bang! Smacks against his shield again. You do not hit. All right, Brim. You can see this from your vantage point. Whoops, sorry about that, folks. From your vantage point, as you're kind of advancing toward the wooden building, you see this bandit with his back to you is swinging at Uthar. That would balls to the wall
I think
combat.
are you muted?
Yes. So, I'd like to do something. I'd like to try and fully just run and tackle him against possibly breaking the wall of the building. I'd like to tackle him at least. Just get a real good hit on him.
Okay.
Smash.
Broom smash. All right, so Lilith, you can see this. All of a sudden, Brim is running forward full speed toward this guard. He actually is just kind of dangling his maul from one hand. Uthar sees this and he steps back out of the way.
Call Uthar.
And so let's see here. I'm going to make a perception check for the guard, and I want you to make a roll to hit, Brim.
Come on, big number. Big number.
No whammy.
Okay. So I'm going to use the last advantage I have that you gave me from, I think, last session.
Yeah.
I did. Now, you didn't just roll, right? So you didn't roll and then decide to use this? Yeah, you got to tell me beforehand. Sorry.
Well, that's another nat 1.
Oh my gosh!
Get rid of that dice. Burn it.
Oh,
Throw it away.
that goes to dice jail. All right, please roll again then.
Big number. Just missed. No fault.
Yeah. Then I get a 17 on the die.
All right, so it's not catastrophic, but unfortunately, while you are fast and strong, you are also very easy to hear. The guard or the bandit, he sees Uthar back out of the way, and he just drops to the ground. You run right past him, kind of step on his back. You narrowly miss Uthar, which would have been the fumble, but you didn't fumble. And kind of stop yourself up short, having missed him. Now we're going to go back to Gimbal. Gimbal, we know what you're doing. This horrible deed.
It's not horrible.
I'm just teasing.
It's just blistering their hands.
All right, so Gimbal, you cast Burning Hands on them.
Yes.
All
On their
right.
hands, specifically.
Burning hands on their hands. All right, so you kind of target. The grass kind of catches fire, but it's clearly it's wet with the moat, so it doesn't go very far. It kind of smolders out, and you see both their bodies are twitching as you blacken their hands. Like you don't just blister, you char them. I need you to go ahead and roll damage. I'm going to modify it because of the way you cast it, but I just want you to make a roll to see sort of the intensity of the spell that you hit them with. Thank you very much for the chat. We appreciate it. Don't forget, we're giving away this Frog Hemoth later in the stream. Also, that's going to be fun. And thanks for all the support, everyone.
And that's a D4.
Right?
Yep. So that would be 3.
All right, yeah. So their hands are blackened and blistered. They're still unconscious for the moment. All right, so now we're going to come back to Lilith. Lilith, you see Brim go charging past. Uthar, backs out of the way. Your attack.
She'll go again with the staff, hopefully.
All right, go ahead and roll to hit.
14?
That just hits.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. 4.
4. Okay. Yeah. So he was already damaged. Thank you for the follow, Cromdraud. Whack! Your staff comes around. You smack him in the side of the head, and you see his eyes roll back in his head, and he drops over into the grass. Would
he have been prone if he was already on the ground?
No. He didn't fall.
Oh,
he just kind of ducked.
okay.
Yeah, he ducked underneath Brim's charge as Brim went past.
Okay.
But thunk, you smack him. You heard something crunch in his skull when you whacked him, and then there is silence as you look around, all heaving, breathing heavily from the combat. But you see there are no more enemies. In fact, you can probably see even a little bit better from this angle, which we have not used tonight. That one's not up. I'll bring that up in a second. But yeah, you can see the courtyard is quiet, and just the lowing of the oxen and also the neighing of the horses.
Would I be able to hear specifically for any female voices, like the wife and the daughter? If I hear any
go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay.
And I'll be going straight for that wooden structure where I saw the dude.
Okay.
13, 17.
17. So no, you can't. But you can hear some scrabbling inside the structure next to you. This again, the keep, or pardon me, the moat house is mostly in ruins, but as I referenced, the stable looks newly constructed. There's a stall back here, and then this wooden structure here, a little sort of a palisade, all newly constructed. You can hear voices coming from inside there.
Did I perchance catch any sight of Gimbal's magic from where I am stationed?
About to ask that too.
Yeah, let's see. So you would be the only
Since I'm
one.
at the top of the wall.
You would be the only one that might. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, please.
Okay. That's a 14 plus.
Yeah, so you turn around just in time to see.
23.
Yeah, you turn around just in time to see what looks like flame just erupt from the grass. Yeah.
And I imagine Millie would be clever enough to figure out that that's probably Gimbal.
I mean, you might, but even she would be surprised that he could hide in grass. You don't it is you don't see him, right? You just see because he is Gimbal to be 3 feet tall, a little over. He would not be hidden unless he's crawling on his belly, perhaps. But yeah, it's a little befuddling, but you have a suspicion.
Okay, then I want to actually run down the broken part of the wall if I can. and just kind of go, Gimbal, darling, are you out there?
All right, so you come running down the wall. You kind of slide down, avoiding the spikes, not too difficult to do. And as you're coming out into the grassy area in front of the moat, Gimbal, you hear her cry out into the darkness. Who threw the cigarette in the weeds?
Are we still in combat? Are we out of combat?
No, you're out of combat. But you hear her say this. These guys are still unconscious.
He's just going to. I don't know if he can get on top of the pillar from the ground, so if need be, he'll go up onto the bridge. He wants to sit on the edge of one of the end parts of the railing. If that makes sense, like the bridge railing.
Oh, sure, absolutely. All right, so.
So he'll just sit on the closest one and just raise his hand and. Yeah, I'm over here.
Oh.
So you have to do a bit of a double take, and we'll get to the rest of the party here in a second. You have to do a bit of a double take because at first you don't even notice him, but then you look a bit closer and you do in fact see Gimbal, but perhaps not Gimbal, very small Gimbal, sits atop the wall right here. You also now notice that these two men are stirring in the grass.
It does seem that we have a bit of company. I'm going to go to the one closest to me.
Really, try not to kill him.
Oh, but we only need one to ask questions to.
Yeah, but maybe it's just not necessary.
Fine.
I mean, look at their hands, okay? Like, maybe it's not necessary.
One of them groans, "Oh!" and he rolls over in the grass.
It's like, is he on his back?
Yes, like what he's rolling. He was on his stomach.
Yeah,
now he's rolling over
but-
to his back.
Okay, as soon as he's rolled onto his back, Millie's gonna just place a boot on his chest, like her foot on his chest, be like, "You're lucky this guy wants to keep you alive. I'm rather not as inclined."
Okay.
I'd imagine right around that time too, because reduce only lasts for 1 minute. That a gimbal would eventually just.
Yeah, you're getting close. So 1 minute is 10 rounds, right? So we had about four to 5 rounds of combat. So as this conversation is taking place, yeah, that's going to happen in just a second. All right, we come back over here to Lilith, Gimbal, Uthar, and Ashrin. So these hands have been torched by Gimbal. So did you say you were moving toward the front door, Brim, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I was going towards the door to just bust that sucker in.
Okay, all right. Lilith, you see Brim fresh off his near miss of tackling this guard. This bandit rather. He's moving toward the front side of the building. What are you doing?
I'll follow him. I can probably tell in the look of Brim's face that something is going on there.
All right, Uthar and Ashrin also follow. Uthar says, "Yes, we must hasten. No doubt the captives are being tortured as we speak. We cannot delay."
Brim, what did you see?
I saw a man
Just one man?
looking out from that.
It was a window, right?
No, so he had opened the door, poked his head
okay.
out, saw what was going on, and he slammed the door and went back inside.
There's a man in there. It seems as we're looking for 2 women. The site won't miss another one.
Let's go quietly.
All right, as you approach the door, so you see Lilith. You see suddenly, boing! Gimbal pops back up to his full 3.5-foot stature.
Ah, that's more like it. All right. So, what should we do with these two? We can't leave them out here. Yes.
I think the milk worked. I got bigger.
Perhaps it did. But yes, I don't think we should leave these two laying out here. So
Probably
we
not.
take them back inside.
Yeah, I mean, do you got rope or something?
I don't keep rope, but I'm strong enough to drag at least one of them. I could do both with a bit of a back and forth.
You can see they're both getting close to regaining consciousness now. They're stirring and starting to groan. Oh!
I don't know that we need to pull them. I mean, why do extra work? I mean,
And if Gimbal could get down and basically hold hands with one of them, to more or less convince him to follow. Like, squeeze his hand if he doesn't comply.
Oh.
Okay, so you see, you don't know what he's doing, but you see Gimbal now at full stature. He leaps off the side of the bridge, kind of swaggers over, kind of rubs the brim of his hat, and he reaches down and he grabs one of the men by the hand. Ah! He goes to yank his hand away. He's much stronger than you, Gimbal, but go ahead and make a strength check for me.
Three.
Oh no!
He rips it away. As he does so, bits of flesh come off in your hand, pulling right off of his hand. Ah! He screams. So was this the one that had Millie's boot on his neck, or was it the other one?
No.
The other one. All right.
Yeah, the other one.
So he leaps up from the ground, looking around. He goes to clutch for a sword and screams with his hands. Millie, the one beneath you, starts to squirm. You guys. By the way, sorry. So real quick, the rest of the party, Brim, all of you, Lilith, you hear this blood-curdling scream echo through the night.
So I'm going to take my boot off the chest of the man that I currently have it on, and I'm going to bend down to him, and I'm going to hold my dagger to his neck, and I'm going to say, "Try anything, and it will be the last twitch you ever make, darling."
All right. So as he turns over, his eyes wide, your dagger to his neck, he's trembling. He holds out his hands. He's clearly he can't even really speak. Leave me alone. I want you. I don't know. God, it hurts. It hurts. What happened to my hands? The other one has turned and just started sprinting away.
This guy that is still screaming, I'm just going to take the pommel of my dagger and knock him on the side of the head, try and knock him out.
All right, yeah, so he is completely helpless. So you just thunk, you smack him on the side of the head. He goes limp as the other one's running.
Blessed peace and quiet. Okay, so I'm just going to lift him and drag him back back through the opening in the fort so that I can meet up with the rest.
All right. So you see all this, Gimbal, as this one runs off into the night and vanishes screaming, "Me hands! Me hands!" You see.
Gimbal will help move the body.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. You sort of you lift a foot and then.
I'm not going to touch another hand.
All right. So let's come back to the rest of the party here now. So you heard this scream. Are you reacting to it? And again, you got to try not to metagame when the party's split like this. So, and I'm not telling you again. Whenever I say that, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying don't react to what you know has happened based on that communication, because obviously your players, your PCs rather, don't know exactly what just happened up there.
Lilith will look around just to see who's all there, and knowing that Brim and Ashern, Uthar and Ashern have been with her the whole time, she'll look at Brim. Have you seen Millie and Gimbal?
The scream didn't sound like Millie or Gimbal. I think they're fine. I feel bad for the other people.
That actually sounds remarkably logical to you when he says it, Lilith. Because it definitely did not sound like a gnome, and it did not sound like a female voice. This was a full-grown man screaming in full-throated agony.
Okay. She'll still kind of look around to see if she can kind of see, but still proceeding and following Brim's lead.
I'm sorry, would you repeat that one more time, please?
She's just gonna look around, around the courtyard to see if she can kind of just trying to see if she can see anybody, but still follow Brim's lead. Okay,
good. So as you're looking around here, you see that it looks like there's some stores of supplies here. You see there's a wagon right here, and the wagon has, well, it looks like some basic supplies and whatnot, but you can see a broken open crate that looks like it has a bundle of tobacco leaves that have been broken open laying in the back of the crate. You also see a stable here, more than just, there's actually 4 horses, and there are 2 oxen sitting in the stable. You don't see any more activity up on the parapets, the doors, along the walls. Everything appears quiet beyond that.
Okay.
All right, Uthar says, we can waste no more time.
I mean, once I get to the door, I'm kicking that sunder open.
Quietly, Brim.
All right, so that's not something you're going to have to roll for. You kind of kick back a foot and you punch your foot through the door. Boom! With a thunderous smash, light spills out of the room, and you can see it's a large wooden palisade that's been constructed. And inside, it takes your eyes a minute to adjust, but let me show you what you see. That works almost. Hang on. Right. Almost. And I can back that up just a bit. 1 second.
How'd the dragon get in there?
Okay.
Oh, no.
So this is the door. Forgive me for giving everybody my my midsection here on the camera, but this is the door that you've just kicked open. Yeah, none of that, Brim. None of that. You want to see another one of those nat ones? They can get a lot nastier. So as you step in, you see a few things simultaneously. And hang on here, let me just adjust this a bit more. Everybody can see a little bit better. All right. So you see there are 2 guards that were waiting for you. They were stationed on either side. And then you see a man wearing a steel breastplate. He's got some accoutrement on him that looks like he is perhaps someone in authority. He has a long sword, but he also has a crossbow leveled right at your chest. As you burst through the door, thump, the crossbow bolt releases. The 2 guards come from either side, and we go to initiative. And the DM has a 4. And we're going to go to you, Brim, because you're the only one in here.
Yep.
Okay. That's a 6.
Yay!
Okay. So, Brim, you have initiative, but you are caught by surprise. So before the initial initiative, that crossbow bolt comes at you, and thunk! It hits right into your maul. It's sticking out of the wood of the maul as you come walking through the door. And with that, we're going to take our one and only break of the night. So as you are now in this wooden palisade, we're going to take a quick, it'll be like a 5 to 7 minute break, and we'll resume the combat when we come back. We're also going to kick off the registrations for our giveaway tonight, our Frog Hemoth. Thank you for all the new followers. Thank you, I didn't call out Irish Jedi. Good to have an Irish Jedi with us. I did mention Cromwadi, and then Trey West was really good tonight. Thank you so much for all the chat. I think I'm missing 1 or 2 others, but we really appreciate it. And oh, there's another one, Sperry14. Thank you very much. And hey, we're on a path to 500. We were sitting at we're like 280 followers back at the end of May, and we wanted to see us get to 400 by the end of June. We shot right past it. We were at like 415 as of last weekend. I think we're close to 420 now. We're going to get over 500 viewers by July. It's just incredible. We picked up over 30% of our viewers in the last 30 days. It's fantastic. A lot of it goes to these players. Fantastic players. I really appreciate all you guys are doing. And now we're going to see what happens as you are inside this wooden palisade in the midst of the Moat House Revisited. So I'll put up thank you D&D Player 888 and we're going to put up the whole wait music. And as we do so, I'll give you a timer so you'll know when we'll be right on, and we'll leave the mics hot for all the players. So anybody that has time and wants to sit and chat with the viewers, you can do so, and we will be right back.
Be right back.
We're back. Tea break.
Who wants to talk?
Well, it looks like Sperry 14, before I step away, thank you so much. We appreciate that. And yeah, so everything goes up on YouTube, and you're getting in early. This is only our 4th session. So, these players are really just getting into the campaign. So while you've missed some great role play and combat, you're definitely getting in at the right time. So thanks so much for joining us tonight and following. And if you have any other questions while we're on break, our own resident gnome Gimbal/Rory of 2 Dungeon Masters. And Rory, go ahead and feel free to pop your stuff in the chat as well. And he is amazing. He can answer any questions that you have on break.
I will answer all your questions. And by the way, Roxy Furious, I don't think he's going to need healing. I think he's going to need some new dice. His dice need healing. That's what needs to happen.
What'd I miss?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
great.
I did not say anything about Brim at all.
Oh, about Brim, then that's fine.
Nothing. Nothing said.
Nothing at all. Too bad.
I think if I keep drinking enough milk, I get even bigger.
I was gonna say I was really hoping that reduce lasted way longer so Brim could see you and be like,
You were supposed to be drinking milk. What happened?
That would have been really good.
but it's funny. One fight, Brim doesn't hit anything on basis of morals. In another fight, Brim doesn't hit anything on the basis of fate.
The time he actually wants to Hulk smash, he can't.
Like, come on. A running clothesline or tackle that. But thankfully,
I love that a wizard just did a full-on combat all solo.
yeah, dude, you're killing it. Like, Gimbal is honestly like slaying it from our first session, being 1v1 with the bandit leader and all the other dudes.
Killing it.
It's funny.
Got it.
Gimbal is like the most unwizard wizard, with Brim being the most ogre. Like,
It's still messed up to me that you, -5 stealth, made it across the river just fine. And
Definitely.
I, plus 8 at the time, I think it was 8, no, plus 9, was not quiet.
How many spell slots do you have left, they're asking?
Well, I have cantrips.
yeah.
I have cantrips.
Yeah. Another fun point is that I thought that
Most guys winced when Lilith got that hit. I just saw that now.
The fun thing is I thought that potion of heroism, when I drank it, I guess I looked at the wrong page, because I looked at the 5e page, and so it gave me, like, in 5e, it gives you 10 plus hit points, as well as other stuff. So I'm like, oh man, I'm doing great. Like, this is fine. And then I went back and was looking, I was like, just to make sure, I need to make sure what this does. And I was like, oh, this doesn't give me hit points at all.
What does it do?
So it gives me +2 competence bonus to attacks, saves, and skill checks for 1 hour.
Oh,
which is great.
Yeah.
+2 to attack is always a good thing.
But if I have a 1 on the die,
it doesn't really do anything. Not very useful.
yeah, gosh. And it's like my favorite die that always rolls like nat 20s.
Mhm.
So I'm very disappointed with this die today.
That was actually my first nat 20 on this die. I've never had one on this before.
Should your should it just die? A bowl with water and put food coloring in it, your die can die and die.
Get out of here.
Die.
Die. Die. Your dice are more like Lord Gazumba's dice.
Oh my gosh, 11. Okay, there's the 70. Like, it's great that I haven't fumbled yet,
I mean, also true.
because both times would have ended horribly. Like, once possibly losing Millie's head, other time losing Bar's entire body.
Thank you, spilled blood.
Thank you for not killing me.
Yeah. Yeah. That would have put a damper on our budding relationship.
Right?
You guys had that nice heart to heart, and then
the really awkward moment the next morning.
Yeah.
And then you just hit her with your maul.
Yeah.
And yet would have been
feel
so
like
appropriate for the group named the Wayward Bold.
Exactly. Also, I feel
think
like this is
so.
my regular dating life. Like,
Aww.
Brim does need more dice, absolutely. So
yeah.
as we're getting ready to
Can you
come
ever
back,
have enough dice? That is the question.
I'm sorry, what's that, Millie?
Can you ever have enough dice? That is the
No.
question.
And we're
Never.
actually working on it. We're gonna have a dice sponsor here pretty soon. We got a couple folks that we're talking to.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And so the question of addition always comes up. I'm actually going to do a Nightbot command for addition, so we can just pop that in there and explain. But we're essentially playing 3.5, which is the open gaming license. It's very similar to what Pathfinder 1.0 is based on. It's D&D 3.5. And then we have several customizations that we run. We have a lot of 1E, 2E elements, including some spell effects, our initiative, group-based initiative system. I like a lot of 1E, 2E old school stuff. But then we do use advantage, which I've referenced a few times, so you've heard us talk about that. And you actually, as viewers, can give advantage to the players by cheering 200 bits. And that is never, for me, about merchandising the viewers. It's just about allowing the viewers to interact with the players, to contribute to the campaign, but also making sure that it doesn't just get out of hand, where we have people having just way too many of these outside influences on the game. But yeah, so you can cheer 200 bits, and you can assign advantage to any of the players. And then we use some other custom things like these Middle-earth crit tables, and then also I do some house rules, which I worked on those today, guys. I know I promised them to you last week. They say one of the rules as a DM is make sure you do what you tell the players you're going to do. I told you I'd have house rules to you 2 weeks ago, and I don't have them yet, so I'm going to get those to you. That's my bad. But they are just about typed up, and they're not. I tried to keep it simple, not too lengthy. But fantastic chat today. Thank you, everybody. And we're going to go ahead and get this giveaway kicked off. And so let me get this set up. We'll have a little bit of advantage for our subs, so I can actually do this in our system. It's going to be automated through a tool called Nightbot. If you're a subscriber, you get the, hey, Fathoms, thank you so much for the follow. If you're a sub, you get additional sort of a benefit. Followers get additional benefit, but everybody is eligible. So it's a randomized system, and the keyword tonight is going to be, let's see here, let's do mini. So exclamation point mini. So that's all lowercase, M-I-N-I. If you type exclamation point mini in the chat, you'll be entered into the giveaway for this gigantic Froghemoth mini that you see here. And thank you very much, RPG Gamerus, for the follow. We appreciate that. And we're going to get... what are you laughing about?
Minty.
Please don't like the Froghemoth, please.
That's the name of the Froghemoth.
Minty.
Minty, I love that. Yeah, I love our viewers. They just make it so much fun. All right. So let's recap where we're at since we went to break and we have a few folks that have jumped in. So we are at the Moat House. You guys have just overcome the forces that were on the outside of the Moat House. The party is a bit split up right now. So you have Gimbal the gnome, which you can see up on your screen there, everyone, and then also Millie, the swashbuckler, standing outside, while the rest of the party is all inside here. The ogre, half ogre, has just kicked his way into this wooden room. Just boom, 1 foot, launched himself into it. And so he's inside there while the rest of the party's out here. In fact, you can see him. I'll switch back over here. He's actually standing in this doorway. And let me angle that up just a bit more. Let me tempt fate here and see if I can get this to work without knocking the camera over. So close, it wants to fall. I'm not going to let you fall. No, I'm not going to let you fall. Hang on, everybody, be patient. All right, this is not a professional production. We're just a bunch of people playing D&D and having fun. Okay, so the ogre has just, half ogre has pounded his way in here. There were 2 guards standing on either side, along with what looks like some sort of a man in authority standing here who leveled a crossbow bolt that he fired right at Brim, and it stuck inside his maul. So with that, and all of your giveaways are working. I'm seeing all the registrations. We're going to do that here later in the stream. Now remember, you have to be on during the stream. So when we do the giveaway, we make sure that whoever is the winner, just type in the chat that you're here. So I want everybody to know you got to be sort of that must be present to win. But that's it. That's the only requirement we have. You get a free mini. So all right. So thank you so much. And we're going to leave. So we've had sort of the nighttime scene a lot. It was actually more than I like to normally use it. But now you're in a well-lit room, Brim. Before we come to you, I'm going to come back to Millie and Gimbal. You here. And let me kill the ambient music, and Blue Box resumes rescue or too late.
I don't like that.
All right, so Millie and Gimbal, you're outside the walls. You're pulling this body. How far are you going to pull him in?
I just want to get him like just on the other side of the wall inside the fort.
All right.
And as I'm doing it, I look to Gimbal and say, "I didn't kill him. I at least did that much. He's just unconscious right now, so don't judge me too much."
Not too much.
All right, and I just pull him in, like kind of like lay him by the wall on the other inside.
Okay. All right. So you lay his body unconscious. Oh, an anonymous cheerer. So I don't even think I've seen you follow us. So thank you for that cheer. Give us a follow and enter the mini giveaway. And with that cheer, anonymous cheerer, you get to give one of the players or the DM an advantage. So just tell us who you would like to have advantage. DM. All right. So
you can also disadvantage the DM, just so you know.
Pox on your firstborn. No, they cannot do that. I'm sorry, she actually has a firstborn. I shouldn't say that. That's
she's adorable.
She's my favorite. I know I shouldn't do that. Oh no, I did it. I gave Vivi the giggle fits. That's a very dangerous thing to do in this game. All right, so let me get this back up here.
Once we're inside the wall with the guy and I've laid him down just to leave him there, I'm gonna kind of start looking for where everyone else is.
Okay, so this is the angle I couldn't show you earlier because the cam was kind of fussing with me. But you see, so you're right here now. So just sort of reorient yourself. This is the front wall right here. Mm-hmm. So this is where, this is the front wall right here where you came through. This is where they came through. Here's the palisade. Brim just kicked his way in right here. This is where he kicked his way in. The rest of the party is standing out here, and you have just dragged this body here next to the cart. He flops over limp. Gimbal, are you saying or doing anything as she does this?
Yeah, he'll take his coat sleeves and push them up, leaving his white sleeves down. And he'll walk over to the body, and without touching the hands, pull his sleeves up, and just, loud enough for Millie to hear, just,
I wonder what tricks he's got up his sleeves.
And push up his sleeves, and looking for any kind of either marking or weapons that he might be hiding in his sleeves. I don't know if this kind of group has any kind of branding or anything they do.
Yeah, so you pull that. You see this happen, Millie. You pull this up, and by the way, we're getting back to you. This is all simultaneous action, so we're going to get to what Vivith is doing and Uthar, and we'll resume the combat with Brim here in just. Vivith? Did I say Vivith? Lilith?
We are technically one.
Lily, Vivith, Lilith. Okay, come on. All right, so we'll get to that in just a second. But you see, Gimbal pulls the sleeves up. The sleeves are blackened tatters as he pulls them up. You can see the char goes about this far up the arm. No, you don't see any marks or branding of any kind other than the branding that you have put on this poor man.
He should be compliant for a while, so just you don't need to kill him.
All right. I mean, he's pretty unconscious. Let him sleep it off for a bit. Maybe we can talk to him later. But
Yeah.
I think the others might possibly wonder where we are right now. So we should.
Oh yeah, where are they?
I'm going to look and see if I can see anybody.
All right, so you turn, this is all happening against that. So as he's pulling up the sleeves, you hear this thunderous kaboom from behind you. Your head pivots around, and you see Brim vanish into this building right here. And as he does so, sorry, that wasn't popping up. As he does so, Lilith and Uthar and Asherin. Lilith, what are you guys doing?
I'll look at Brim and say, quietly.
He's already in the room. So what are you going to do now?
I'll come in as well.
All right, and we're going to cut back over then to Brim. And you won initiative, as I recall, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that's unfortunate for these guys. It really is.
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, so Brim, you stand right there in the doorway. That's a pretty tall structure, but your head is almost brushing because it kind of comes down conically. And the guards on either side both lunge at you with spears. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna swing at the one on my right.
All right, so you pivot, and as you turn to attack that one, hang on, let me get over here. It's out of the way. And roll to hit.
Okay.
That's a 23 to hit.
Yay!
Let me see. Yeah, that's a hit.
Finally!
Okay, roll damage.
Oof. That is going to be 10 damage to him.
10. Okay. Your maul comes around. Thunk! You connect. You slam him up against the wall. You hear the wind go out of him. You feel ribs crunch. He's still alive, though. As he slides down, he's fumbling with his sword, trying to stab you.
Where are the girls?
He simply says, as you strike him with your maul. The other guard comes running across the way towards you. And as he engages, they're both going to attack. And you also hear another as a crossbow bolt is released. So we go to their attacks, and Lilith and Uthar, you will all be coming in the next round. As they attack, the first one plunges his sword toward Brim. He's the one coming off the wall, so he's going to be attacking at disadvantage, as you have smacked the living snot out of him. Yeah, I mean, it's feeble as he stumbles over, almost drops his blade. But the other one coming up from behind, he's flanking you. And that one attacks. Ooh, and yeah, you feel his blade slide into your back. You take 5 points of damage. It just rakes along, cuts your robes, and you feel the blade slice your back. The crossbow bolt, thunk. And you're in armor class 11, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lots of hit points.
Yeah.
So let me switch back to the main screen here because we haven't showed this much, but for all of our viewers, as this rotates around, you'll see we have character sheets for all the players. Brim's armor class is 11. He's got a glorious 31 hit points, which is part of the half ogre race in this world, which is fantastic for second level. But he takes a lot of blows, and so. As the crossbow bolt sticks in you, you take an additional 5 points of damage. Thunk! It's deep. It embeds itself right above your hip. It doesn't hit your kidney, but it's right beneath it, just right in your hip. Oh, hey, good to see you, David. Thanks for joining us tonight. And you'll see Brim's character sheet right there. Okay, now we go to Lilith. Lilith, you come rushing through the door, Uthar right behind you. As you do so, you see the scene unfold before you that I described. So you see two men engaged with the half-ogre Brim. Ashrin comes in behind along with Uthar. You see the man standing behind the desk with a crossbow bolt steadily trained on Uthar. What are you going to do?
How far is it? Would I be able to get up towards him in this round? But then I can't do anything, right? If I move up to him?
Yeah, so I mean, like, in general, so we're running basically sort of a 1E2E rule set structure here. You don't get to move your full movement, which is 30 feet, and still attack. You can move your full movement of 30 feet and do something, quaff a potion or some other sort of activity. But if you're going to get a full attack, you basically get about 10 feet. So here, you could get to the one that's attacking Brim from behind. So if you can see on the camera here, that's about 10 feet for you. So you could get there and make that attack. But to get to the one that's standing behind the desk, that's about 20-25 feet away. That would take your full movement.
Okay, I'll attack the one that's behind Brim then with my staff.
Okay, roll to hit.
14?
14. Well, especially since you're flanking him, that hits.
Okay.
Roll damage.
6.
6 points. Wow, you are quite effective with that tonight. Uthar is going to advance toward this guy. Ashrin runs over toward Brim, seeing that he is badly damaged. And as she does so, we're going to switch back to on here. We'll switch back to Millie and Gimbal. What are you guys doing?
I'm going to notice the door that just literally exploded. And I'm going to turn to Gimbal and be like, I think we went that way. Would you like a boost so we can get there to join them quickly?
With a decent amount of hesitation, he'll go ahead and, yeah, okay.
And so she's just going to kind of lift him, because she's strong enough, lift him onto her back, almost piggyback style, and just take off, run across the yard.
Alright, you scoop Gimbal up under your arm with remarkable strength for her lithe size and sprints across the courtyard. So you'll get all the way across this round, even carrying Gimbal, and reach right there to the doorway. A little bit of a football sort of in your arms as you're running. Okay, so we come back here and we go to initiative. All right, now you lost last time, Brim. No, you won. So roll again. DM has a 2, big fat 2 for the DM.
I got a 1.
All right. And actually, no, I don't like to kill my players. I just like to pretend I want to. Okay. So Brim, the one that's been sliding down the wall, he's got his wits about him now, though he's got the blood foaming from his mouth. You beast! Oh, go die! He plunges his blade at you, close quarters. Oh, he hits! Surprisingly. That was actually a really good roll. You feel his blade, ouch, slides down your side and your gut. You take 5 points of damage as he slices along your gut. Are you still conscious?
Yep.
Okay, the other one, let's see. So he's been attacked from behind. Let's see if, I think it'd be nice. So we're going to do like a 1 to 5. He stays engaged with you. A 6, he's going to turn around and see who just tried to attack him from behind. All right, he's probably opposite, rather. Yeah, so he turns, he engages Lilith, and he attacks. Thank you, Sperry, for the sub. That doubles your chance on our Frog Hemoth giveaway. Thank you so much, Jay. We appreciate the comment about the combat. We're having a good time here tonight. That's all we want to do is have fun. All right. No, please no Cyndi Lauper. Please, none. No, okay. All right, so he swings at you. He turned around expecting you to be taller. Like you hit him pretty hard. He swings right over the top of your head. You easily duck underneath it. Okay, so now Millie and Gimbal, you guys are going to come into the room. You won't get an attack this round, but I'll move you into the room. As I do so, we're going to go to you, Brim.
I'm going to take another swing at the one in front of me.
All right, so he's looking pretty rough off. You can feel one that was right at your heels, but go ahead and roll to hit him.
18 to hit.
That is a hit.
And that will be... that'll be 14 damage to that poor guy.
This guy was hanging by a thread, Brim. All right, I'm gonna need you. So let me. I'm gonna invoke a little solo Fable 42. The choice is yours, my friend.
Okay, so if you'll allow, he's going to swing and hit this guy, and as it hits him, he's going to grab him and slam his head into the ground.
Hey, if it's theatrics that don't change the other mechanics of the game, I allow just about anything. All right, so you see exactly that. Lilith, you're watching this before you. You've seen Brim almost get more and more violent as the combats have proceeded. This time, the strike, the crunch of bone does not over-surprise you, but then when he catches the man by the neck and thrusts his head down the ground, splits his skull, gray matter splatters everywhere in the room. It's even a bit much for you. All right, Lilith, you have one standing in front of you. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Brim.
Is the other one within 10 feet of me?
Oh, he absolutely is. Yes,
Cleave.
you can cleave. Yes,
Use cleave.
there you go.
Here we go.
No heavy.
Okay, that'll be 15 to hit.
That is a hit.
Yay!
Whoa, and that'll be 12 damage.
Yes.
All right, Brim. So as you crush this other one by the head, I'm going to say you don't have time to pull your maul around fully. So you have to explain to me how you kill this man with your maul in one hand.
In one hand, I slam him down and I look up at the other one, blood, almost red eyes. And he just thrusts his maul out and catches it by the end, crushing the man's skull against the collar.
All right, so this is what we all expected from Brim. It took us a few sessions to actually see it, but it's happening now. Brim, he crushes the other man's skull. His head pops like a melon up against the wall. Lilith, you see all this happen before your eyes. This man that you were just attacking suddenly vanishes, snatched from your sight. Millie, as you walk in, and Gimbal, you see a spray of blood splatter in front of you everywhere. There's chaos. It takes you a moment to sort of assimilate what you're actually seeing. And by the time your eyes clear, you see... that, and by the way, it's a simultaneous combat. So what are you doing as you run the room and you see all this chaos around you?
I'm just going to kind of look and see where, the next greatest threat is. What? Okay. And if I see the guy with the crossbow, that's the direction I'm going to head.
Okay, so again, in the interest of simultaneous action, I think if you had come in the room, it would be fair to say, seeing Brim surrounded might have gathered your eye. You already see Willman or Uthar engaging with the man behind the desk. So you kind of took a step that direction as you're seeing this happen. So you're going to move toward the primary man. Anyone else doing anything else other than, I know what Ashton's going to do, but Gimbal, Lilith, anything else you guys want to do?
Lilith is wiping the blood off of her face and gray matter. I feel like I was in that direct splash zone.
Oh, you are. You're covered.
Just try to
You're covered in red and gray. I mean, he just crushed 2 skulls, splat, right in front of you. All right, so you kind of clean yourself off. You, Millie, run in this direction. Gimbal, what are you doing?
Gimbal will stay on the back of Lilith, kind of clenching a little bit tighter as we enter into this room.
Did you mean Millie?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Hey, I'm the only one that gets to confuse player names here. You don't get to confuse player names.
I was like, wait a minute.
So, he'll just kind of clench on a little bit more, not getting down.
All right, you kind of hold on as you see her. She's running. Ashrin runs over toward Brim. She lays her hands, let's just say, just above your buttocks, right? Because she can't reach any higher. Just kind of reaches up as high as she can. So are you okay, Josh? She reaches up on this massive half ogre and places her hands. I know I'm gonna lose Vivi now. It's done. We're done for the night. You feel healing power emanates through you. It is the splash. So you feel her healing power emanate through you, and you receive 6 points of healing from her spell. All right. Now we're going to go next round, and let's go initiative.
That's mine now.
It is yours. Yeah. Yes, that is correct. The DM has a 4 on the die.
I have a 6.
Oh!
Yay!
Okay, very nice. All right. So let's go ahead and have, let's see, we're going to go in order of melee proximity. So I'm going to start with Uthar. Uthar is going to roll to hit. And hang on here, let me just do something real quick. Thank you so much for all the great follows. We appreciate all the support tonight. You guys are the best. Uthar attacks. And you see from the corner of your eye, Millie and Gimbal, as you're rushing toward, this guy's quick. He ducks underneath Uthar's blow, bangs the sword away with his shield. Uthar does not connect for damage on the blow. Now we're going to go to Millie. Now you're a bit weighed down. Okay. You've got a gnome on your shoulder, but
I'm gonna set Gimbal down, and then I'm gonna hop up on the desk.
Okay, so Gimbal, even though you're clutching, she sets you down on the ground, and Millie leaps up on top of the desk.
Can I strike him this round?
Yeah, you were already closed.
Okay.
Yeah, so you were within 5 feet, so I'll allow that. You leap up on top of the desk, and yes, you can roll to hit.
Rapier first. That is a 15.
15. That misses. So you swing down, it hits a shoulder pauldron. Your blade screeches along the shoulder pauldron, this gleaming breastplate and shoulder plates that he has.
Alright, and with the dagger that's a 19.
That is a hit.
Yeah,
so you come across with the dagger. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. That's 7 points of damage with the dagger.
Ooh, okay. So you come across. He's surprised to see you leaping up on the desk. You miss or you hit, but it sort of scrapes along his armor. You manage, and then as he's kind of lifting that shield arm, you plunge your dagger underneath his shield arm, and you catch him. The armor somewhat resists, but you definitely hit him. And we're going to go to Gimbal. Gimbal, you're right there.
Yes, so Gimbal, just kind of seeing all this unfold and being put onto the floor, He'll take a couple steps backwards and then pivot to the back side of the column.
Okay.
Putting his back basically to Millie, but on the other side of the column.
All right. You have done so. Anything else you're going to do? That's a pretty quick step, so you can do this to something else you want to.
Yeah, he'll just kind of have his back to the column and just kind of moving out of the fight for this round.
All right, so you're foregoing Pat 66's recommendation to bite his kneecaps. I fully respect that. All right. All right, so let's go now to let's go to Brim. Brim, you feel this surge of healing come from behind you. You see one remaining individual in the room.
Also, just question because of my spit take, I didn't actually hear how much the healing was.
6 points, I believe.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got 6 points of healing.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Cool.
Wait, no, actually, hold on. No, I think it was.
Was it?
It was 5. It was 5. 5 points of healing.
Okay. Cool. Oh, he feels pain. That drops him 1 hit point. All right. And he's just going to keep bounding forward and try and go for this metal guy, or at least if he can't hit him, to wrap around to the back of him.
Yeah, so you can definitely advance. And now, and if you can see this here, let me just point out something I didn't. Because if you rushed in the room, a few things you noticed here. One, there is inside this stone palisade, wooden palisade, there's a stone structure here. It looks like part of the original moat house remains, and that they built this palisade around the moat house. You also see some barrels and some stacks of something here on the side that you're not really paying much attention to as you're, rushing around in this combat. But you're going to go ahead and just get this out of the way and move you forward there. I'm reaching all the way across my table. You have. No, Ashrin is fine.
Oh, I got him again.
I'll get Ashrin in a minute. I'm working out logistics on this for this one-man band crew here. Yes, Bibi, she's okay. All right, so you get there, you kind of leap up on the stone platform, but you're not going to get an attack this round. Lilith, what are you doing?
I will follow Brim.
All right, so yeah, you couldn't tell me that before I sat down and got over there.
No, I had to wait for you to sit down.
I'm kidding. That's not your fault, that's my fault. All right, so you advance here and come up, and we'll kind of move you around this way. It's getting pretty crowded on this side, and he's well hidden behind the desk. All right, and I think
now that you're sitting, can I just say I'd never mind?
You want to go back?
I'm just kidding.
All right, so I think that concludes all of your actions. Now, the man, he had his sword already in his hand. The crossbow has dropped to the ground. He looks at Millie, Uthar, or... So actually, you were already... So it's only going to be between Millie and Uthar, because you were running for simultaneous action. Millie, as you strike him with your dagger underneath the arm, you, and I won't say the word he says, as he swings around at your legs. Oh, and he hits. This long sword bites into your leg. You take, ouch, you take 11 points of damage. It's a deep cut. He catches you right beneath the kneecap. You feel it bite into flesh. It smacks bone. I'm going to have you make a dex check to remain on top of this desk or fall off.
Dex or reflex?
I'm going to have you make a dex check, and it's going to be a... so what you're going to do is you're going to roll a d20.
I'm going to use my Charmed Life, which is one of my swashbuckler things. That allows me to add my charisma to a saving throw. I can do it 3 times a day, so I'm going to use it for this, and I have to declare it before I actually make the check.
Okay, so what is your charisma?
My charisma is +3.
A +3, and then your dex is your normal dex.
+4.
No, your action, so it's 18?
19.
19. All right, so then basically for this, all you need to do is not roll a 20. Right, so if this is an opposite of a saving throw. What we're doing here is a dex check. It's old school 1E, 2E style.
Okay.
So what you're trying to do is roll under your dex. Your dex is a 19, so normally rolling under that would be fine. In this case, you got the +3 for your charisma with this feat. You just need to roll under a 20. Roll.
Okay, I can do that. I think. I hope. 12. That works.
Okay.
Yay.
All right. So he smacks you. You all hear her cry out. but she remains on the desk. Blood starts streaming from her leg. We go initiative.
All right, and that's me again. So.
Come on.
That is a 6 for the DM.
6 for me as well.
Oh, okay. Roll again. That is a 2 for the DM.
3.
Okay.
Yay.
You have initiative. Millie, since you're right there and you won initiative, go ahead and make your roll.
I really liked these pants, and now you've gone and ruined them. so she's gonna do her attacks now. That's 19 on the rapier.
That is a hit. All right, so your rapier comes down.
then-
You bite into the top of his shoulder pauldron and cut through the steel.
With the dagger, it's a natural 20.
No.
Yes.
All right,
Natural
roll.
20.
Damn.
All right, so roll percentile dice.
Oh wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. Roll to
first.
confirm. Yeah, roll to confirm.
Come on.
That's 18.
Oh, yeah, that confirms. All right.
Okay.
So now roll percentile dice.
Let's pick my
Iron Crown Enterprises Middle Earth Role Playing Crit Tables.
Never cut.
83.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yes.
What is it?
Should I roll damage now?
Okay. All right.
yes.
Yeah. So this crit. I'll read it to you.
Alright.
All right. So on the slash table, it is a slash the weapon arm plus 10 hits. Plus he's bleeding 1 per round. If there is no armor on the arm, which there is, he's got some leather on the arm, you would rip all the muscle and tenders and the arm would be useless. So that's not that. So this
Right.
dagger does bite deeply. I need you to roll damage for both attacks, and then you're going to add 10 to your dagger attack, and you know he's bleeding. You hit him deeply.
Dang.
So the rapier is 9 points of damage from the rapier, and then the dagger is 15 points of damage.
Nice.
Wow.
Get it?
Oh my gosh. All right. So you strike down with your rapier. You cut through that shoulder pauldron, as I said. As he staggers back, you plunge your dagger just above his heart. So it goes deep right through the chest plate here. You feel actually, you know where you hit him, and you see blood comes out of his mouth. You've clearly punctured a lung. All right, we go now to Uthar. Uthar attacks. He hits! Uthar got a hit! Oh! Good for him! All right, so as he leaps forward, he slices his blade up. It goes right up the leg. He opens up the thigh. This guy is in bad shape. Okay. Now we go to Brim.
And I will use the advantage.
Oh, you're just flexing on us all, is what you're
Yes,
doing.
I am. I just want.
Natural ones.
A nat 20. I want a nat 20.
Hey, good to see you, MJ.
Oh no!
I know you've been on tonight.
No,
Tell me it's not your third one. No, you can't on it. You rolled 2 1s on an advantage. No, there's no way.
Nope.
No way.
But I rolled a 2 and a 4.
Okay, all right.
So that 4 is going to come out to a 12.
A 12. So actually, you would have hit him, but he spasms back so hard from the blow he took in the chest from Millie. You just miss him. Gimbal, what are you going to do?
Gimbal, with everyone a bit distracted in the moment, will sprint out the door back towards the other individual.
Okay, so you're going back outside where you left the other guy?
Yes.
Okay, so Gimbal, you turn and sprint out of the room. Ashrin, whom I'm not going to reach for now lest I should actually pop a hamstring, she starts moving toward the front of the room, and we're going to go to Lilith. Lilith, what are you doing?
She'll attack the guy with the... Do I notice Grimble leaving or Grimble leaving or
No, you wouldn't notice this in sort of the heat of the battle, but you can attack. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll attack with my staff.
Okay.
16 to hit.
That just hits.
Okay.
All right, roll damage.
6! Hey! This dice is not today.
You rolled another 6? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is like the Terminator druid that we have in the party. As he staggers back from Millie's blow, you see he moves out just as Brim's maul slides past his face. You come up, you connect right in his jaw. You feel pop, 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 bones snap. His head snaps back, and he falls over dead.
Oh, I wanted to get him between the legs.
You can't do that every time. You already got one of those today.
I have a name now. They call me the Nutcracker. What can I do?
It certainly could happen again. All right, so now everything is quiet in the room. So let me describe again what you see. So there's obviously blood pooling everywhere, and there is this stone structure. Thank you for the follow, Reskane. By the way, if you haven't already, and we have just about a little less than an hour left, and we're going to be giving away inside that time the Froghemoth Mini, and then we're going to be giving a raid to one of our friends over on the other Greyhawk stuff. So thank you so much for all the followers. Followers get advantage, subs get an advantage as well on that giveaway that's going to be coming a little bit later in the show today. Also, if you don't mind, the lovely and talented Millie, that's Evelyn. She's actually not only a player, but she's also one of the contributors and sort of a co-host here on Blue Box. If you would drop our Discord credentials, we want all of the folks that want to participate in our Discord. It's growing. Boom, she's so quick. And it's fun. So as a quick aside, when the players are in locations like towns where they can gather items, go to stores, go to taverns. We actually have role play that occurs during the week inside that Discord, which is a lot of fun. Now, right now, that's not going to be happening while, of course, they're here in this place. Okay, so back to the game. So you're in the room now, and describing again what you see. There's this strange stone structure that is part of what looks like the original moat house. And of course, when I say original moat house, for all of our old school D&D fans, I mean the original moat house. But it is now 40 years later. So we're in, common year 626, I think I said. So it's 40 years after the original Temple of Elemental Evil, but the moat house still exists, and the structure has been re-inhabited by this strange group called the Red Lords. Inside the room here now, you see the desk that the armored man was standing in front of. The stone structure is part of the original moat house, which Brim is standing on. And you see what looks like some barrels and a stack of, now that you can actually see it, it's actually a bundle of fresh tobacco.
Ooh, there's lots of tobacco here.
All right, what do you do?
I'm going to look down at my heavily bleeding leg, and I'm going to look to Ashran and say, darling, could you perhaps help a girl out?
Ashran says, well, I can, but it's my last one of the day. Are you sure this is...
Do you still have one of those potions that we picked up? Perhaps I could take one of those?
I have one remaining. I can give it to you, yes?
Okay, and I'll take that, please. And whatever it is, I'll use that potion.
She looks over, like you catch this imperceptible almost exchange. She looks over at Uthar. Uthar nods, and she pulls out and she hands you the potion. I love the look that created.
All right, I'm going to take the potion.
Okay, you drink the potion, and thank you, Wily Hobbit. Love that name. We appreciate the follow. You get 6 hit points of healing as you quaff the potion.
Thank you, dear. That's much appreciated.
It is no problem. I really appreciate the combat prowess of this group. You're quite impressive. I'm so glad to be with you. I hope we can find these lasses before something evil befalls them.
Yes. Well, shame we didn't keep him alive to ask him where they might be.
All right. So speaking of that, let's cut back out to Gimbal. Gimbal, so you've gone outside, and as you are outside, and I didn't ever actually, oh, that's frozen. That's why I'm still seeing Millie on that camera. You run outside, and you see Actually, so let me think. Let me roll a quick d20. You actually do still see the man is there, but you actually see he's starting to struggle and pull his way up from the ground.
How far am I from him? Am I close to him?
Yeah, so you are here. Where'd I put your mini at? I just had him. Ba-ba-ba. DM disorganization. All right, so you're here. You're about 60 feet away. He's lying on the ground here.
Let's see here.
While he's looking that up, thank you so much, everybody, for all the follows, all the viewership. You guys are awesome. By the way, if you haven't given us a follow yet, or you haven't subbed, here at Blue Box we have a phrase. We really just have one question for you. What are you doing? Okay, all my players failed. We got to try that again, all right? You all have to join in when I do this. If you haven't subbed or followed yet, we have one question for you. What are you doing? There we go. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Trey West. No, that was actually a while ago. I've already thanked him. Hot knife right after Wiley Hobbit. All right, so what are you doing, Gimble?
So Gimble will go ahead and take a sprint action to get right up next to him.
Okay.
And just, I guess, not lean over because he's probably already about the right height.
Yeah, that's easy for you. So you sprint over. You see, he starts to push himself up. He kind of tries to get up on his elbows. He's clearly delirious. You see blood dripping down his temple.
He'll just put his hand on his back and head by the ear and say, "I recommend you just lay down."
All right. Perhaps, well, certainly I think in the first time of one of my campaigns, and probably rarely among all D&D campaigns, I'm going to ask my new gnome illusionist to make his intimidation check.
Are you sure?
All right, while he's doing that.
Intimidation.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kieg. I don't want to make you feel bad for the enemies. I just want to make things feel, real.
Well.
15.
15. You see, this guy, he's been color sprayed. He's had his hands stretched out before him and burned to a crisp, and then he's been stricken in the temple by a dagger pommel. He just falls back to the ground. Please don't kill me, please. All right, we're going to cut back to the other group. You're inside the room. What are you doing?
I'm going to start searching bodies.
All right, Millie, clearly, so are you going to start with the one in front of you or the ones in the back? All right, yeah, predictable. Okay. All right, Millie drops down and starts searching bodies.
And I'm actually going to look for trinkets like Lilith usually does because she keeps giving me coins, so I feel like I should give her something in return.
Okay. As you do this, you hear Urthar say, "We have no time to waste. There are innocents here. Where? All right, Brim, what are you doing?
This whole time I was hoping to run back out to Gimble.
Sure.
I don't see the women in this room. I'm gonna look in other places.
Okay. All right. You run back out of the room and to the front. All right. Lilith, what are you doing?
Can I inspect that piece of stonework there that you're saying that was built? You said the house, it seemed like it was built around it?
Sure. So you move over to the stonework, part of the ancient structure of the moat house. And as you look at it, and by the way, so quick example for our fans, there are times where the DM will allow players to roll for certain things like sense motive, perception, check for traps, disable traps. Other times I'll roll, depends on the circumstance or situation, and there are reasons for that. Oh, wow. That's a 19 on the die.
Yay.
Lilith, as you're looking, you see there is actually a brass handle that's so weathered in age it almost melds into the stone with the way it looks. It clearly looks like you can pull this up to open something.
Can I hear, do I hear anything coming from it?
So you put your ear to it, and this time you can go ahead and roll your perception.
Okay. Oh, 3 plus 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's thick stone. It looks like it can be pulled up. It would take some strength to pull it up, but you cannot hear through the stone.
I'll tell everybody that's still in the room that I found a door. Millie, there's a door over here.
1 second, dear. I need to...
All right, Millie. On his body, you find that he has that breastplate that I referenced earlier, but it's got punctures in it in 2 different places. He has 1 clear potion. He has a fairly standard-looking shield and longsword. Nothing special about either one that you can tell. But he does have a pouch on his belt, which draws your eye immediately.
I will take the pouch and I will check it.
As you open it up, you find there are 4 pieces of gold, 27 pieces of silver, and 9 pieces of copper inside this pouch. As Brim rushes out, as Lily searches, as Uthar says, "We must do something," you're pulling coin off the pouch. Well done.
Did I find anything that Lilith might like on his body?
Okay, so trinkets. No, this guy was a pretty straightforward soldier. He's disappointingly banal in what he carries on him.
All right. So I'm just going to be like, oh well. I'll get the coin, take the potion, and then I will move over to Lilith since she called for me.
Okay. Lilith, as you find the door, you see Uthar says, "What is it? What have you found?"
I found a door. They might be in here, but maybe we should get the others. I don't think we should.
There is no time. At once. You see he runs over and he pulls up. So again, for our viewers here, Uthar runs over to the stone. He grabs a hold of the weathered handle and he pulls open on the stone, and you hear it kind of creaks as he pulls up on it.
Uthar, darling, maybe next time let me check for traps before you start pulling on things.
There is no time. While you gather coin, who knows what perfidious things are being done to those poor lasses?
I mean, if you want to end up dead one of these days, do that. Keep doing that. Rush in first and, get yourself killed. I, however, would rather keep you alive, oddly enough.
OOC? He says, "When my player's not here, I will take risks beyond measure that I may punish him for leaving me." I'm just kidding.
Noted.
All right, so we're going to switch back out. Brim, actually, let me go to this other one here. Brim, as you come running out, you see that Gimbal is standing over one of the guards who is he's whimpering. Don't kill me, please.
Gimbal, what do you have there?
Nothing.
Does he know where the girls are?
I don't know, I haven't asked that yet. I just got out here. And he'll lean down. Where are the captives?
You mean the women? I don't get to play with him. The captain, he took them somewhere inside the palace in there. He gets all the fun.
Gimbal is going to interrupt quick enough into that sentence and step on his hand. You really don't deserve the mercy I'm giving you. Where are they?
He says, by the way, anyone that joined late, this bandit was color sprayed into submission by the gnome, and then the gnome, in the first time I've ever seen this, I've DM'd for 40 years, he used burning hands just to burn his hands. And so he's got these blistered, blackened hands. Gimbal, you step on it. I told you! He took them in there! I don't know where! They're in there somewhere!
So, Brim, hold on a moment. Because I would imagine...
You don't have to imagine. You can hear Brim heaving deep, angry breaths behind you.
Gimbal will take his hand, like grabbing, placing it, not pulling the eyes open or anything, just placing it kind of on the head, looking him in the eyes and saying, "Look now, it's best you tell me where they are," and he'll cast ghost sounds to create a massive amount of ghost sounds right in the very area that we are in to inflict more fear into him.
So as you do so, there are sounds of howls and ghosts all around. He begins to shake more and more. He passes out.
See, I have nothing here, Brim. Just nothing here.
I want to kill him.
Brim, can you do me a favor? You're kind of big and scary right now. Can you come lean down towards me? Well, here's the deal, Brim. And he'll sit on the not really easy, but not hard either. But he'll sit down on the back of the other guy.
Okay.
Here's the deal, Brim. When you do something, it doesn't always come undone. It's not like a river you can step in and then step out and step into a new river. It doesn't change. It stays with. So, this one's mine.
Gimbal,
Yes.
if he gets away, his axe are on your hands.
Yeah, I like my hands. He won't get away.
All right, we're going to come back into the room now. Woo-hoo. So again, you have the bundle of supplies here. You have the door, which has now been opened in the floor right here. You have the desk, which Millie stood upon here, and Ashrin is actually standing.
All right.
Well, Uthar opens the door.
Okay.
Can you see, is it dark down there?
Yeah, actually, it's dark,
There.
but it looks like you can see a bit of dim light toward the bottom.
All right. Well, I think we should go down and see if the women are down here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just call out first. I'm going to say, Kristen, Tisa, are you down there?
All right. As you call out, you hear some low guttural sounds and what sounds almost like a curse, and then you hear a also, I need everyone to roll, everyone that's in the room, roll a d20 for me. So this will be Lilith, Ashrin.
Not 20.
That's 12.
So you look down and you see that there is a piece of paper that is wafted off of the desk, and it looks like parchment. It was a letter that was partially written, laying on the ground.
Who is that found it? Sorry.
I'm sorry. What's that? That was for you, Lilith. You saw this.
Okay, I'll pick it up and read it.
All right. So as Lilith and Uthar are staring down, Uthar is staring down the portal, and you see this. You reach over, you pick it up, and you see this. And this will be funny. So where you see there are underlines, including the red, the blue squiggles, this is what happens when the DM does something in Word, snapshots it, doesn't notice that Word is checking for things that aren't actually words, and doesn't pay attention until he's got it up here. So please ignore the squiggly lines and the red stuff.
Okay.
You read it, it says, Mistress, our attempt to eliminate those responsible for killing our men in Kron has failed. Zale was taken in an attempt, but we were able to silence him before anything of our plans could be revealed. That wizard is effective. I must tell you, I don't know how much longer I can tolerate working with these orcs. I don't care what this Gorjal has done, and I despise being named for his accomplishments. Please tell me this farce can end soon. I will, and then it trails off. Pretty clearly he was writing this letter as you burst into the room.
As well as kind of reading it, I would have heard the guttural noises as well, right?
Yep.
From where
Yep.
I was. Her face will kind of drop, and she'll go over to Millie and whisper, orcs. There's orcs down there.
Alright. Well, we need to help these women.
Why do you look
So-
so excited?
All right, so
Sorry.
back to Brim and Gimbal. What are you guys doing?
Dumbo, I trust you. Please be safe.
Are you leaving?
I'm heading back inside.
Can we, can we take this wagon thingy and maybe help me hold him down with it?
I'd like to.
We need to be quick. The women are in there.
Alright, yeah, but yes. Just something to hold him down. I don't want my hands cut off.
Okay.
There should be the wagon like right next to us. It looks
Yeah,
like.
if you haven't seen already, it's right here. There's this wagon right here on the screen. So here's Brim, here's Gimbal, he's right here, and you're standing right next to the wagon with the tongue hanging out.
Yeah.
Mind if I break his leg?
Yeah, no, my panther, not yours.
Okay, disclaimer, we do not endorse torture here at Blue Box, but we allow our players to do what they can within reason. All right, resume.
The reason is if he wakes up, he may be able to get whatever's off him off. If I drop the wheel of the wagon on his leg, it'll keep him pinned.
You got rope?
I throw my bag down, I reach in, I throw out the rope.
I trust you to be able to do this.
Yep, I got it.
Sorry.
And I turn around and just.
Brim throws the rope down and sprints back inside the palisade. And I'll move you over there in a second. Okay, so we come back to the group now. What are you doing?
Alright, so. You say there might be orcs below, yes?
Down
Well. Whatever we face, we have to take care of this. I don't want Uthar running off on his own into stupidity.
I cannot wait any longer. He starts walking down the stairs.
And there it goes.
Can I grab him? Would I be able to?
You grab him, but he's pretty strong. He just kind of.
Alright, well, I'm going to follow Uthar because he's determined to get himself killed.
All right, so he clanks down the stairs. All right, as he does that, I'm going to get this. Just take me a second. It's right there. But I'll get you all the players from over. Reminder, we just have a little longer to go here. We got about 20-25 minutes left in our stream. We're going to be giving away this Frog Hemoth. We got a lot of entrants, but not too many. Thank you. You still have a great chance. Thanks for all the viewers, the followers. We appreciate it. And then we're going to be raiding into, hopefully, Will over at Wicked Studios, another Greyhawk and Dragonlance campaign, old school gamer. We like him a lot. So just hang with us. And I'm going to let you guys kind of continue to role play as you're walking down the stairs while I get the next mini scene set up.
Okay. Well, as we move down the stairs, I'm going to see if I can see anything at all, like kind of make out what might be down here. Since I know Uthar can't see very well, he's human.
So as you get lower and lower down the stairs, you actually see the lighting gets brighter. There are clearly torches below. You can hear them guttering.
But yes, I want to just keep my eyes out, see if I can spot the women, or if anybody else is down here at all.
All right, so other than Uthar going first, give me the rest of your marching order.
I'm right behind him.
I'll be right behind Lil.
All right, and Ashrin just a bit behind that as well. And so we'll be waiting for Brim. And as you go down the stairs, there's a dank scent. You can hear a whimpering, a kind of a distant whimpering in the room. You do hear the guttering of torches, but all else is silent. You cannot help but feel that you are walking into a trap, or certainly an ambush, if nothing else.
Can I tell what direction the whimpering is coming from?
Yeah, so everything is coming from these. So you're going downstairs. Everything is coming from down these stairs.
All right.
So.
Lilith will kind of grab Millie by the hand, just by the wrist, unless you want to hold hands, Millie. And just lean forward and kind of whisper at her. What business do you think Grimwell would have out there? Why would he leave?
Well, he was rather insistent I not kill that man earlier, and I don't know what that was all about, but he seemed particularly interested in keeping him alive, so very curious, really.
Enough to leave the group? It seems kind of pressing for us to...
I see them! There they are! And suddenly you see Uthar takes off sprinting down the stairs. As he runs down the stairs, this is the scene that you see. You all emerge at the bottom of the stairs. By the way, you, Brim, are just now walking in the room. So we'll come back to you just quickly. You walk in the room. You see bodies everywhere and no sign of the party, but you do see this stone trapdoor pulled up.
Okay.
Gimbal, they've already headed in. There's a trapdoor. Follow soon.
So Gimbal, you're still out in the courtyard. You're tying this guy up. You hear Brim yell these words to you.
Do I get him tied up?
Yeah, so it's going to take you another round. But if you can leave him now, or you can take another round to tie him up. That'll put you then 2 rounds behind him.
Yeah, I want to ensure that he's as tied up as possible.
Okay, very good. All right, so we come back now to the party. As Wilnan bursts into the room, you take everything in at once. You see there is another of these red-garbed guards here, but there is a huge orc standing here, a good 6.5, almost 7 feet tall, with a wicked-looking scimitar, his visage twisted in a grin, blood dripping from fangs. You see the wizard, the same wizard that assaulted you, Millie, in the alleyway outside the Welcome Wench, and then pursued you into the Welcome Wench, which you presume had something to do with the demise of the assassin which you caught. He stands in the back, a staff in his hand, one hand, already motioning with the other hand. Hey, Kirkland, thank you for the follow. And then last but not least, you see a cage in the back, and you can see a pair of women clutching, whimpering up against the cage, trapped inside. And we go to initiative.
And I believe I won it last, so...
I think you did, yeah.
You did.
Here we are. That's a 2 for me.
And that is a 2 for the DM as well, so roll again.
Oh.
And that is a 3 on the die for the DM.
3 for me.
Oh, we'll roll again. Another 3 for the DM.
4.
Okay. You have initiative. Let's see here. We're going to go to Uthar first. Uthar, he sprints toward the orc and closes on him to get as close to the captives as he can. Now we go to you, Millie.
I'm seeing this magic user making motions. I actually want to take my dagger and launch it at his hand to see if I can stop his spell.
Okay, all right, roll to hit. And we won't call that a call shot. We're just saying you're making an attack. You're going to try to disrupt his concentration. So roll to hit.
And that's with my dagger. So that's an 18.
An 18. That hits. Roll damage.
Yeah. Damage from the dagger. That is 7 points of damage.
All right. Thunk, your dagger sticks in his shoulder as he's casting, so he's going to make a concentration check. Wait, I'm holding it the right direction. You can see it here.
Can't tell.
It is a nat 1. You don't know how lucky you don't know how lucky that was.
And as soon as it sinks into his shoulder, she's gonna say, "That's for the Indiri."
You see the spell. There were some yellow lights that were beginning to hover around his hand, and they dissipate suddenly. All right, Lilith.
I'll cast Tangle at the wizard.
All right. So I'm sorry. You said what? You're doing what to the wizard?
I'm going to cast Tangle.
Oh, okay. All right. And remind me of the DC on that.
This is equal to the DC of the spell. Entangled creatures can attempt to break free as a move action, making a strength or escape artist check.
Right.
DC for this check is equal to the DC of the spell.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 1, it's a 10 plus a 1, and then what is your wisdom bonus?
My wisdom is +3. So
Yeah,
14.
okay. All right, so it's going to give me a DC of 15. All right, so you see suddenly these things begin to emerge from the stonework. He kind of curses and steps aside as he pulls Millie's dagger out from his shoulder. Now they attack. You see the orc as Uthar comes toward him. The orc heaves down with a scimitar. Ooh, nasty blow. Connects. He takes. You see, he takes a gigantic sword blow across the shoulder. Oh! You hear Uthar cry out. The other guard, or the bandit rather, he closes on Lilith. Lilith, he attacks you. That is a hit. You take, ouch, 7 points of damage. He stabs a sword right into your rib cage. You feel it slice along the bones of your rib, flaying open your side.
Okay.
And that concludes the round. All right, Brim, you go charging down. You can hear the sounds of battle. So you rush down. You're now charging down the stairs. We go to the next round. Initiative. Millie, you won it, so you roll again.
Right.
DM has a 5 this time.
4.
Okay. All right. So engaging again. The orc standing above Uthar. He swings again. Ooh, another hit. Aid me, Haronius! You see Uthar drops to one knee. And he passes out, falls unconscious. The guard facing you, Lilith, he stabs his blade at you. Hold on, let me double check your armor class here, and he misses. You dodge away nimbly. He seems clumsy to you, these big humans, you know, with these big swords and armor. He's clumsy. You dodge easily out of his way. The mage, he throws out his hand and he utters an incantation. As he does so, I need Lilith and Millie to make a will saving throw DC 14.
Okay. 15.
And what'd you say, Lilith?
Pass. So that's a 13 plus an 8. So.
Oh, so okay. All right, both of you feel your eyelids start to get heavy. You feel this desire to just lay down and sleep, but you fight it off by force of will and maintain your concentration.
And elves are resistant to sleep anyway.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's
All
right.
right.
All the more reason. All right. So now we go to you. Let's start with you, Lilith. You're engaged in melee combat. This guy's just stuck you with a sword pretty hard.
I'll hit him with my staff.
All right. Roll to hit.
Rolling. 14.
14. That hits.
Okay, nice. 2.
2. All right. Funk. You smack him with your staff. And I'm not expecting some of the chat. I'm not expecting TPK, but anytime the party gets split, this is always a danger, And I'm not saying anybody did anything wrong, by the way. I think everybody played their characters exactly right. But losing a third of your party is a really, really dangerous thing to have happen. All right. As you do this, you see Ashrin. She sprints forward toward the fallen Uthar. As she does so, she provokes an attack of opportunity from that guard. Oh, snap. Nat 20 on the die. Does not confirm the critical. Okay. So he rakes the blade across her back. It's a deep score. She cries out and stumbles toward Uthar as she takes this huge blow. Now we go to Millie.
Alright, well, I want to move towards the mage, but I don't want to get into the entangling vine, so I don't know where that is.
Yeah, so it's about a 10-foot radius around him.
Alright, so I just want to get within my reach of him if I can without walking through the vines.
I mean, your rapier, you're going to get into the vines if you try to attack him with a rapier.
Well... And he has my dagger. So...
He has it in his shoulder. He just tossed it to the ground.
Throw the rapier.
Well, I guess...
Exactly, Pat.
Since I can't deal with him right now...
save game. Redbeard said save game, save game.
I'll go to the guy that Lilith is currently engaged with.
Okay. Roll to hit. He's right there. He's standing right next to you. Easy for you to get.
Okay. That's a 21.
That is a hit. Boom! Solid blow with the rapier.
And I only have the rapier right now, so it's one attack.
Right.
That's 5 points of damage.
All right, that's a nice solid blow. You slide it right across his midsection. You see blood spurt out. He looks like he's hurting pretty badly now. Ooh, you hear Brim come bursting through the door. Now let's try that again. You hear Brim come bursting through the door. All right, Brim, you take this same scene in all at once. You see Uthar lying on the ground. You see Ashrin running over to him, blood spewing out of her back. You see Lilith bleeding badly while Millie's engaged in combat with a soldier. You see the cage behind you. You could hear the whimpering of the captives while the mage stands in the back, the same one that you engage with in the entryway of the Welcome Wench, and he holds a staff and a hand up.
Do I have any movement left?
You can kind of declare intent. I'm going to move you in a direction. You're not going to close much ground.
I am going straight for that mage.
Okay. All right. As you run toward him, you do actually. I don't know if you do. Roll d20. It's going to be a perception check for me. Brim's in a blood rage. Does he really notice these little vines coming up from the ground? Maybe not.
That's going to be a 10.
A 10. Yeah, no, you don't see it. You're in a blood rage. You're just charging straight toward this guy. All right, we go to initiative.
All right, I lost. So
Gimbal.
Gimbal. Oh no, Gimbal's not there. Gimbal's finishing his time. So Gimbal, you've just finished tying the man up. The crickets around you, but even from this distance, you can just barely hear the tinking sounds of battle. You tie him off. You feel like you've got a good solid tie, and you sprint as quick as your little gnomish legs will carry you back toward. Oh, let me so everybody see where he's at here. You sprint as quick as your little gnomish legs will carry you back toward the wooden palisade. And you burst through the door. All right, now we come back to the combat, and initiative will then go to Lilith. That is a 3 on the DM. You have a what? A 5. You have it. Okay, so we're going to start with Ashrin. Ashrin lays her hands on, and she cries out, "This be my last spell! Use it well!" As she cries out, you see the warm glow emanates from her hands, and Uthar receives enough healing that you see he groans and kind of starts to turn over and stagger underneath it. All right, now we go to Millie.
Alright, I'm going to attack this guy again.
All right, roll to hit.
So, come on. That's a 20.
That's a hit.
Okay. 20 something. Okay, that's a d6.
Roll damage.
6 points of damage.
Yeah, okay. You slide your blade into his gut, just sort of cleanly right through the stomach. He falls over on your sword. Lilith, what are you doing?
The guy. I'll hit the guy with the staff that's near me.
That was the one I just killed.
Oh, you killed him?
Well, yeah, but this is simultaneous action, right? So I think that's probably what you would do. So just go ahead and roll to hit.
Okay. 13.
Yeah, all right. So as he's doing this, you just smack him on the side of the head. Blood sprays from his mouth as he falls over to the ground. Now we go to Brim. Brim, that is actually, for another PC, that would be too far. But for you, that's 2 steps, and with a 10-foot reach, you actually can swing at him.
But that's what I'm doing.
All right, so you're kind of so actually you're fortunate here.
Knocks him over again.
What'd you roll? It's not a 1 this time.
It's something again. Please help me. The 20.
Oh! Did you just nat 20 the principal villain of this? Okay, no, I trust you. Hey, that looks sideways. I think I was looking at the wrong end of that. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
All right.
that's 100% nat 20.
Okay, roll to confirm, please, for me.
Come on, please.
Now you get another nat 20.
So that would come out to a 13.
Yeah, so you got to remember, this is a mage, not an armored soldier. That is a confirmed critical. Please roll percentile dice.
All right, sorry,
Roll your
12.
dice. Roll your dice.
Oh, come on.
Go to my crush critical table here.
That'll only be a 47.
Only a 47, okay. Now roll your damage for me as well.
That'll be a 14 damage.
14, then you get an additional 5 points on the critical, that's 19. Plus, if he has no armor, which he does not, he is stunned for 1 round. You slam him back, he slides against the wall,
So good.
cursing. As he does so, he grips, it looks like his arm, it maybe even be broken where you slammed it with your maul. And Gimbal, you go rushing through the doors upstairs. You see the same thing. Empty room, bodies everywhere. You hear the sounds of battle coming from down the stairs. May I presume that you're going downstairs, or you can tell me otherwise?
He'll go down, but he's going to be very cautious before he exits into the next room.
Okay, good. All right, so you begin picking your way down the stairs, kind of cautiously watching what's going on. All right, did anyone not go? I think everyone went this round. Right now, they attack. So the stun of the mage affects this round, so he loses his attack this round. So that's the effect of your critical in addition to the damage. The orc, as he sees Uthar stagger to his feet, he swings at him again.
Sit down, I told you to die!
Oh my gosh! He pummels Uthar again! Thunk! Uthar goes straight back down on the ground.
Poor Uthar.
That's what you get for running in like.
That's ignominious. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, he's just up from the healing. Boom! This massive scimitar strikes him down again. We go initiative.
Okay, Lilith.
Come on, Lilith. Come
4
on,
on the
Lilith.
day.
Come on.
5?
Yeah.
Okay, you have it again. Lilith, why don't you start off? Tell us what you're doing.
What, me?
Yes.
Would I be able to get over to the orc and engage or no?
No, you can get there, but you can't engage in combat in the same round. By the way, if you haven't yet, we're almost done tonight. Type !mini in the chat. !mini to enter for this massive Froghemoth. Let me hold up a regular mini. You can see gigantic, cool Froghemoth mini is a giveaway tonight, and you got to be present to win. So type !mini and be here when we raffle it off in just a few minutes. All right, what are you gonna do, Lilith?
I'll hit with my sling then.
Okay. Lilith, roll to hit.
Nope, that's a 3.
Okay. Okay, now we do use... Okay, a 3. So we use these proximity combat effects here, and I don't know how well you can see that, but let me show you. So you're slinging, and you're going between Millie and Lilith to hit this orc. So now I'm going to roll to see, even though it's not a fumble, whenever you're doing missile attacks into a crowd or proximity, there's always additional danger. Okay, boom, it clatters against the wall. It hits no one else. Now let's go to Brim. Brim, roll that perception check for me again.
No. 4.
A 4? Okay, yeah, you don't see anything. So tell me what you're doing. He's about 12 feet away from you. You knocked him back against the wall.
I'm gonna go charging at him to get another swing at him when I get in range.
All right, so I need you to make a reflex save DC 15 as Lilith's tentacles entanglement writhe on the ground.
Nope.
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 Brim.
5.
All right, now I'm going to have you make a base dex check. So I need you to roll D20, roll underneath your dexterity, which I believe is a 9.
Oh gosh.
So I need you to roll an 8 or lower.
8.
An 8.
Yay!
No. My dex.
Oh, is
an
an
8.
Okay.
I
Okay.
thought you rolled it. Okay.
But I rolled a 6.
Okay. All right. So what this means is you do advance a couple of feet. You're actually now within range, but you don't. Well, you don't do what just happened there. You don't actually fall over.
You've been falling over a lot.
Yeah. I gotta weight that mini better in the back. So you keep your footing as you look down. You see tentacles writhing around your legs. All right, Ashrin. Ashrin actually, she just backs away, trying to get some space between her and the orc. Millie.
I want to move towards that orc.
All right, yeah, you can close. You're now in combat with him, and that will be resolved next round. And we started with Lilith, so I think that is it.
Down yet or not yet?
Yeah, so now, Gimbal, you come down the stairs, and you see everything that I explained to you here. You see this scene. Lilith and Ashrin are... my battery's getting low. Lilith and Ashrin are standing here. You see the orc engaged. Uthar is laying on the ground, bleeding profusely, with Millie standing next to him. You see Brim is heaving and breathing heavily as he's swinging at this mage, and you see the cage in front of you. What do you do?
So there's an orc or something right by the entrance where I'm coming in?
No. That's Lilith. Yeah, she looks nothing like an orc. No.
Thank you.
So there's an orc. If you can see the battle cam. The orc. Oh, yep. It's time for a new battery for my laser. The orc is standing in the back of the room by the cage, where Uthar is lying on the ground bleeding.
The mage. Then those are the only 2 enemies in
That's
here?
correct.
This is gonna suck. Can he get on top of the desk?
Yes, you actually can do that this round if you would like to. So is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, he would like to get onto the desk and just shout for Brim. Throw me in your maul. Throw me in your maul.
Catapult?
Yeah. Brim, catapult!
Okay, so a couple things need to happen here first. First of all, thank you, Greyhawk Mike. I need you to make a dex check. Nothing special. I just need to make sure you're not rolling a 1. You're a nimble little gnome leaping up on a desk. Not a big deal. Just want to make sure you don't do anything stupid.
It's 14 plus...
All right, no problem. So you leap up on the desk, and then Brim, you hear what?
Brim, catapult!
I'd like to thrust my maul over and catapult him at the mage once it's my turn.
Okay. All right. So we roll initiative.
Alright, Lilith again.
Lilith, you're up again. You're on a roll. DM has a 2.
Lilith.
2.
All right, roll again.
No,
DM has a 5.
2.
Yay! Okay. The mage, he curses under his breath, and let's just see of the spells that he has what I think he would feel like doing right now.
He feels like having a nap.
Yeah, he wants to lay down.
He does.
Pretty hard.
Okay. He holds out his hand, and you see missiles come flying from his hand. Little arcing pieces of red electricity. Thank you for the sub, Sasha Scorn. That actually improves your opportunity on our mini giveaway that's just about to happen. All right. And likewise, Corey Clune, thank you so much. And same thing. Missiles fly. That was a horrible sound effect. I can do better now. Missiles fly into your body. Brim, you take 14 points of damage as these missiles strike your body. Are you unconscious?
I'm unconscious.
Brim collapses to the ground. Even as he's trying to hold out his maul to you, Rory, you reach for it and it falls to the ground. The orc, he attacks Millie. That is a hit. Millie, you take... Okay, not too bad. So you deflect most of it away. You take 4 points of damage. He rakes his blade up the bottom side of your arm. Begins to bleed. Yeah, tanks be going down. Okay, so now we go to Millie. You are engaged directly in combat. You see Brim, thunderous fall to the ground.
You know, I normally like orcs, but you're getting on my nerves. And she's gonna swipe at him with her rapier.
I'll have you, woman.
That is 23.
That is a hit. He's already bleeding pretty badly.
Come on.
Okay.
You got it.
Come on, damage. Big damage.
You got this. You got this.
9 points of damage!
9 points of damage. Ooh,
Yes.
okay. So you bring your rapier up, you stab him right in the hip. You feel it slide in deeply. It severs flesh. You feel a tendon pop in his leg. Oh! He's barely staying upright now from the damage. Let's go to Lilith.
Lilith will go over to, seeing that Ashen has kind of backed up, Lilith will go up. Can I get up to Uthar or no?
Yeah, you can,
Do something?
Let's see. I'm going to say that's about 15 feet. That's just at the end of your range. You can do something, yes.
I'll cast Virtue on Uthar. So he'll stabilize and get 1 hit point.
Okay, all right. You lay your hands on Uthar. You stabilize him. Gimbal, you see Uthar go down. Or you see Brim go down. What are you doing?
He will. His whole demeanor is going to change for anyone that can notice it or hear him. And he'll hold his staff that has a little ball fixed to the end of it. And he's going to just charge the mage.
Charge the mage.
Yep.
Would you like to
take
give
up his whole movement, right?
Yeah, no, well, I mean, you're not far. You're gonna have to make it so you can definitely see the entanglement still writhing on the ground. But you can make a check against it, and I'm gonna.
Is the entanglement around the mage, correct?
Yeah, within a 10-foot radius around him. Yes.
So I would like to use the body of Grim.
Yes! Yes! Use him as a bridge!
I've noticed you guys like making me try to do difficult things with these figures. I love a challenge. I do.
Balance it.
Actually, he'll just stay there instead of
No, I'm determined to do this. Give me one more chance. Hang on.
Balance it.
He'll stay
All right.
Did he get it?
Yeah, you leap onto his back. And that's a quick. So I'll let you do what you want. But I do need like a gnomish battle cry for this to really be pulled off.
So depending on that will depend on this. So is there still? Did he move 10 or 15 or 20 feet? How far would you say that he just moved?
Oh,
Like,
I'd say you move just under 10 feet.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's going to move, and his whole demeanor will change. His face will become very serious as his hands, his body tightens, and he'll reach forward, and he's going to cast Ghost Sounds for whatever it's worth, but he'll just. No, this is my friend!
Wow. Okay. All right. So first of all, I'm going to give you an advantage for that to be used in the future.
Yay.
That was fantastic role play. You cast the spell, and the sounds of haunting, howling ghosts ring all around him. All right, and so you hear the crying of the two women that are stuck inside the cage. And with Brim on the ground, bleeding, Uthar stabilized, the half-orc barely dangling by a thread. We're going to go one more initiative.
Come on.
5 for the DM.
It's to Brim now, I believe.
Now, Brim's unconscious.
So to me?
Yep.
Thank gosh.
Okay.
Come on,
Come
Millie.
on, 5 or
Come on.
6. 5 or 6. You got this. You got this.
That's a 5.
Okay, roll again.
Yes.
DM has a 2.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Millie
come on.
has a 3.
Yes!
All right, Millie, your attack.
All right. So she slowly pulls her rapier back out from this guy's hip, and she gives him kind of a intense stare, and she's going to swipe towards him again. And I'm going to go at advantage because I have an advantage from last time.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Use it then.
I want this guy dead. And that's a natural 20.
Whoa! Okay, roll to confirm.
Okay, confirmation is a 19 plus 7.
Okay, all right, roll percentile dice, please. Holy smokes, Millie.
Because I rolled at a 19, does that
Oh, you rolled it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. Okay,
19.
you bring up quick house rule. I want to be quick with this because we got to do our giveaway and then get on with this. But so on Blue Box, a 20 is a crit. You confirm. If you roll a 19 on a crit or a confirmation or a 20 on the die, you get either plus 10 or plus 20. So if it's 2 20s in a row, which is a 1 in a 400 roll, you get a plus 20 on your percentile. If you roll a 19 on the confirmation, natural 19, you get plus 10. So you're going to roll percentile dice, add 10.
100?
Was it 100?
No way. No way.
100. That is 100.
Oh my gosh! A 2019 double aught?
Yep.
Okay.
And that would be 110%.
All right. So
Oh, yeah?
let
what's
let
that
me
on the chart?
just for fun, let me read to you what my fun Middle Earth Iron Crown Enterprise tattered crit tables say. Out of 110, I'm going to read this to you, but I still want you to tell us what it looks
yeah.
like. He's impaled in the heart, dies instantly, heart destroyed. Plus 25% chance your weapon is stuck for 3 rounds. Tell me what it looks like.
All right. So as she takes it out, she's just really pissed off right now. And she's going to say, "Sir, it's too bad we couldn't meet under better circumstances." And she's just going to drive her rapier slowly into his chest and then pull. And she's going to just try to yank it back out and take his head off after.
Yes.
All right, well, okay, so hold on. I need you to roll percentile dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
If she can.
Because you definitely, you got the heart. Now you're trying to pull your blade back out.
That's a 38.
Okay, yeah, you feel it like scrapes against his sternum as you pull it out and you lop his head off. The orc topples over to the ground, and that's where we will stop for tonight. Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah! Fantastic, well done. Players, absolutely phenomenal tonight. What a fun session. I had a blast. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get ready for our giveaway. And thank you to all of our, it was Jay Birchfield 3 gifted those subs. Thank you, Jay Birchfield 3. And congrats to Corey Clune and Sarsixen and Greyhawk Mike who got those subs. We appreciate those very much and a really fun night tonight. So a reminder, if you haven't yet, type !mini. We're going to give you another second or two to do that. Type !mini, all lowercase. Thank you so much, Wiley Hobbit. Yeah, that was pretty bad actress. Not as much as your mini that we'll be premiering here on the Greyhawk Blue Box stream here pretty soon. We're going to be giving this gigantic behemoth frog away again just for size comparison. So !mini. While we're waiting to do that giveaway quickly, let's go around the room. We do stream MVP here on Blue Box. Our viewers get to decide who was the stream MVP. That's based on role play, maybe trap finding, maybe combat prowess, maybe just something that you liked about that player. And we're going to give each player 20 seconds, no more, to tell the fans why you should be stream MVP. Let's start with you, Millie.
All right, well, that crit and decapitation that I just did, pretty cool. Also, very consistent roleplay, especially with the unconscious, or the men that she, wanted to kill but didn't for Gimble's sake, and searching the body of the crossbolt guy, because, gold is one of her major motivations, so...
Exactly. No, well done. All right, so if you think Millie was the MVP tonight, go ahead and type Millie in the chat. Now let's go to Brim.
I think I should be stream MVP because I took it from the embers of ones all the way to nat 20. Touching the head of two of the men.
Outstanding.
Back and having a beautiful moment.
Well played. Remember, this is still 250 experience points that the winner gets. Let's go to Lilith. Lilith, why you should be stream MVP?
For the crit hit on the nutcracker, cracking jaws and cracking nuts, and I guess for searching and finding the trap door.
Outstanding. Well done. All right, and then last but not least, but kind of least in some ways, let's go to Gimbal.
I should definitely get it for one is because I stuck to the plan, what I have called Gimbal's Gnomish Gentle Touch. Shrinking, color spraying, burning hands. Three of us burning hands. And then also not just killing him. As well as the interaction with the amazing viewers.
Outstanding. All right, well done. All right, so we're gonna do the roll on Nightbot here in a second, but let's just count this up. So type whoever you want: Gimbal, Millie, Brim, Lilith. Whoever should be stream MVP. I see 1, 2, 3 Millies. I see a Brim. Uthar played so uniquely tonight. I'm not going to the session before. All right, a Lilith, a Millie, a Gimbal, a Brim, a Gimbal, Uthar again. A Millie.
What if Uthar won this?
That would be
all right, so I need you guys to count this up for me. While you guys count this up, I'm going to roll on the Nightbot. Here is the giveaway for our Froghemoth. Thanks, everybody, for watching tonight. Thanks for all the follows. And the winner is, it'll appear in the chat, Phantom NJ! Yeah. Congratulations, sir. You are the winner of the Froghemoth. Now, all I need you to do, Phantom, is give us let us know you're still here. So just say hi, or I'm here, or huzzah, or something. So you got to be present to win.
2.
Okay, there he is. All right, Phantom NJ is the winner tonight of the Froghemoth Mini. So Phantom, just give me your information, your name, address, and whatnot. And as we're counting this up, I'm going to get ready to do our raid. And so who is our winner tonight?
Hold on, I see 8 Millies. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Gimbals. So we're currently tied, it looks like.
Uh-oh. All right, so we need somebody to break the tie. Thank you, MTMJ. We appreciate that, sir. Somebody help us break the tie as we're getting ready to raid.
So it's between Millie and Gimbal right now.
Millie and Gimbal. We need next one wins. One more Millie, one more Gimbal. Did Rox already vote? Nope, he didn't. Gimbal, you are the winner tonight. Gimbal is stream MVP. Well done, sir. And we are rating our friend Will over at Wicked Studios LLC. This is Blue Box signing out. Thank you, players. Thank you, followers. What a great night.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate all of you, and thank you for another follow, Tim's TV.